What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. I am glad that you could join me this evening. I want to thank you. Again, it's an honor, a privilege to get to chop it up with you guys each and every night. Let's see something. I'm acting like I know what I'm doing. I can't even see the shit, so fuck it. Oh, son of a bitch. Let me know how that works. Is that better for you guys? Is that a little bit louder? Let me know how that sounds. Cause I really cannot tell. So here's the deal, man. I'm glad that all of you could join me this evening, and I thank you and I appreciate you all. Welcome back to the Den. This is the greatest conversation on the internet. The reason why this conversation is so great is because of you guys. You guys make this wonderful. You guys make this so enjoyable each and every night to just chop it up with you guys and kind of see your thoughts, feelings, opinions on various topics. I'm your host, Honcho. The Den is social commentary from a realistic perspective. You know, some people think I'm all about the news. I'm not necessarily all about the news. Just talking about society and the things that are going on in society today. Shenanigans, silence. Let me see where we at. But what I do want to discuss is, I don't want that timestamp on there. Tonight we're going to talk about elders and ancestors. And I know saying that means different things to different people. And so we're going to clarify what I mean by that. We're going to kind of get into all those aspects. Yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. So the first thing we got to do properly is make sure we do our housekeeping. Make sure, son of a gun. Okay, I cut all that off. I forgot. Let me make sure I got the right shit on. Okay, here we go. All the proper socials. Den Show Live on everything. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, Den Show Live. Super easy to remember it. Same name, same game. Facebook.com/group/Den Show Live. Everything is Den Show Live. If you're looking to find us on any of the other social medias, that's the easy way to do it. Y'all gotta forgive me because I just pulled like a super shenanigan with like 8 minutes before the Den started, and I'm surprised I made it back on time. I'm proud of myself. Hey, make sure you like, make sure you share it with a friend, all the proper things. Like the video so that YouTube knows that it's good content. You know, when you get that like, that lets YouTube know, hey, people actually like this show. We may want to send it out to more people. Other people may like it too. So make sure that you hit the like button. That's the most important thing that you can do. Hit that like button. If you want to support the channel, you can make a one-time donation via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/The Den Show. Quick and easy, accepts PayPal and other methods. If you want to pledge monthly to the Den Show as this channel grows, you know, we're trying to build into another location, get outside the garage. As you can see, it's hot. You see the sweat, the beads, sweating, just Den drip down my face. But hey, it's worth it to get to chop it up with y'all every night. I even got the fan blowing on me, but I don't want to put it too loud because it just makes way too much noise, even though it's supposed to be a quiet fan. That's a different discussion. If you want to make a monthly pledge, you can go to patreon.com/The Den Show if you would like to support monthly. A few different options there. We have the Den Show chat, Discord, and some other things. If you would like to check that out, be greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody who supports. Shout out to Stina Starriot and James Martin for being faithful Patreon supporters. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. I don't want anybody to think that, you know, I favor anyone over anyone else, but I just appreciate the extra effort. But again, liking and subscribing is very important. So the elders, the ancestors, this means different things to different people. And like I said, we're going to get into it. But before, we got to talk about the different people that are dealing with us tonight. Be all the funny nigga. What's the motherfucker deal? I'm just saying your name. Shannon Jones, me and Mrs. Jones got a thing going on. How you doing this evening? Louis, 17. 1738. Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Wise man in the house. VT online. How many more Mortal Kombat tournaments have you won since we last spoke, Mr. VT? I don't know if I'm fucking your name up. But how you doing this evening? James Harden. Yeah, I'm just probably gonna block you singing terrible lyrics. That's just awful. Terrible, terrible, awful lyrics. Miss Bell, Southern Style, how are you doing this evening? It's always great to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? Brian, Bodie, Body, Calhoun, whatever you want to call yourself. You know, whatever floats your boat. You can be whoever you want to be, but whatever you want to be. Doesn't matter. AB, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Professor Tria, what's the motherfucking deal? And I can hear the trash valet guy out there. He's always listening to something. Every time he comes through, he's listening to some type of sports talk. I need to put him on the sauce, but we be off by the time he come through. But I'm glad all of you are here tonight. Let me just say, like, because I'm telling you, like, I'm like, just like literally maybe about 42 seconds before the stream started, I slid back in here, so I had to get everything back on point. All right. So when I talk about ancestors, when I talk about elders, there's different beliefs. When I talk about elders, I'm referring more to the people directly in your life. So your parents, your grandparents. I really mean, I guess you would say your immediate family or actual direct lineage. That's kind of what I mean by elders. Some people refer to elders and they mean, you know, everybody older than them. And I don't know. I don't know about respecting everybody older than you. Everybody older than you may not have your best intentions in mind. So I try to keep that focused on family for the most part. No, I don't care. Somebody got to vote down. Why not? Why not give her something to do? V Darko, what's the motherfucking deal? Glad you could join us. It's always good to see Miss V. Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? But when I talk about ancestors, I'm looking at that more of, I believe, like I said, I'm not super familiar with it. I kind of looked into it some years back. But there's a belief in ancestral worship. And I don't know, like I know it's in Asian communities. I know that it is in African communities. I don't know how others handle it. I don't know how others deal with it. I don't know if there are other cultures that embrace it. So, but this is what I am from. I know that the Asians are very high on respect and, you know, stuff like that. So I know that those communities are all about the ancestors, respecting your elders and things like that. Plus in Japan, they live to like 1,000. Let me see. Rigo, what's the motherfucking deal? McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Cassie Cage, what's the motherfucking deal? Always good to see you, Cassie. Well, like I say, there are a lot of people that I know that are, you know, into the ancestral worship. So that's what I mean when I'm referring to ancestors, and then kind of what I mean by elders. I'm going to be talking directly more so about the direct lineage, I guess if you could say like that, right? And so elders, I think your elders have the best intentions for you. I think they mean well for you. I think they want good for you. DeMarkey, oh, that boy DeMarkey in the house. Holding it down. But my thing is, you know, I'm not gonna let that die for like another 2 weeks. So just be ready for that. You know, my thing is this. You know, Devin the Dude had a line, you know, and I can't quote it exactly right now, but basically saying, you know, respect your elders, but don't let them hold the remote control, or they'll have you going down that same old funky toe up road. You know what I'm saying? Don't be hating. Nah, that boy DeMarkey hating, man. But, you know, and basically, this is truthful. I think that you have to take the information that your elders provide you with a grain of salt. Now, if there's older folks that you're close to, you know that they have your well intentions in mind, cool. But then there's others They might be trying to fuck you off. You gotta be careful, right? Yes, I'm smoking Black and Milds again because they help me focus. Don't like to smoke. I think they taste like shit and they're terrible. But they taste like shit. But it's just something about smoking. Like it's a stress reliever. So, there's that. I'm gonna go pick it up from Mama Kenneth tonight. Cause I was just looking at that. Cause I told her, she had got me a desk at first, and then, it wasn't big enough. I said, all this delivering I do to you, you're gonna deliver me this little ass desk. I can't, I told her I needed an L-shaped desk, you know what I'm saying? So I can hit it with the hook, you know what I'm talking about? Gary gotta hold it down. But seriously. And your grandparents, your parents, whoever it may be. But I think it's kind of funny in how this generation, it's so much different. And I think part of it happens with, I don't know if I want to say Generation X. I don't know if I'm liking that. I think that blend between X and millennial. I'm like old millennial, young X, something like that. And, when MTV became a big thing and people start praising the youth, it's like the elders became less and less respected. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it doesn't make sense. In other cultures, like I say, Asian cultures, African cultures, they respect elders. People who've had life experience, which is what makes sense to me. Deal with the people who've been through shit, who can give you advice, because ain't nothing new under the sun. The technology may adjust, the technology may change, but it doesn't mean that, it's increasing your life or it's not increasing your quality of life or anything like that. Elders know how to live and have succeeded through life without this type of stuff. They didn't need all these distractions and things like that. But now we look to the youth more so for stuff, and the youth don't know shit, and that's why I think that our a lot of the stuff that we believe in, a lot of westernized countries are ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? I can't bring song requests back because the bots, they don't do them anymore. A lot of the bots, they killed that. And even if I could, I wouldn't do it because y'all are terrible. Y'all like really whack ass music. But that's how I was. When I was young, I always grew up around a lot of older folks. I always peeped game from a lot of older folks. And, I preferred being around older people because there was always something to learn. And I'm telling y'all, mark my motherfucking words. Mark my motherfucking words. Whenever there's a dead Houston meet and greet or a Soft Sports meet and greet, and Kenneth shows up, y'all think I'm dead serious about this. I want you to look me in my eyes. I'm the captain now. I'm going to slap the shit out of you, Kenneth. I like you. I have no problem with you. You don't get on my nerves like some of them other characters. But I'm going to slap the shit out of you. I mean that on everything. So, with that being said, that you should respect your elders because elders have game, they have experience, they have life experience where they can help you through things. They have a perspective that, especially when you're younger, that you haven't gone through. They have some of the best advice on, love, just dealing with issues, sadness, dealing with loss and stuff like that. I'm gonna slap the dog piss. Y'all think I'm joking? Y'all been thinking I've been joking since like the first time. I'm dead serious about this shit. I'm gonna try to set up something for the sauce this year. Hopefully, maybe during the season, maybe during the preseason, we'll see how I'll give it like a test run. But I'm dead serious. If I could Kenneth, I'm gonna slap the shit out of Kenneth. I'm gonna dap him up after I slap the shit out of him though, cause I like Kenneth. I do. I think Kenneth is all right. He's just confused, but I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. Backhand's too disrespectful. I'm gonna give him a front face, open hand, just right across. I'm just gonna cuff all that shit. Anyway, you see, properly introduce yourself and see what happens. You better change your motherfucking name. But my thing is this, man. Y'all think I'm joking. These are not jokes. These are not jokes. I'ma slap the shit out of Kenneth. They'll be like, damn, I want y'all to have your phones ready and everything. That shit can go viral. But my thing is this. That's fine. Y'all can put your money on whoever you want to. I'll take bets. Kenneth, you slow, nigga. I done seen you get off the line, nigga. You slow. You take false steps. So, my thing is this. Again, getting back to the topic. See, that's what happens when you let these young niggas do too much. They get you off topic. They get you distracted. My thing is this, man. You know, and I don't know at what point the world changed. And I say I blame it like on the MTV generation because we started valuing, you know, entertainment, money, being youthful, you know, youthful ignorance, I guess fun. And I don't know if older people start acquiescing to that because, you know, they miss their youth and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's, hey, Rashida, what's the motherfucker? We can line them up, man, goddamn it. But, you know, then you ain't got no reach either, nigga. Yeah, you out of there. So my thing is this, like I was saying, I don't know when it changed. I don't know when the world got twisted, but I believe it has to do with entertainment. And I think it's changed the way that we see things. Now, the youth, they don't value their parents' advice. You know, they look to rappers, they look to Offset for life advice, you know. Yeah, she probably, look, every video gets a thumbs down. Like, I've been noticing that for a little bit now, that every video has a thumb down. Even though pleasant and nice topics, thumbs down. But it's all engagement, it don't even matter. I don't know, DeMarcus light skinned. You know what I'm saying? He is bound to press charges. But again, you know, but this is what the youth listen to. They listen to these people because they have a lot of money. They figure they know something. Or they're out there partying, popping bottles and doing all this other stuff. You know, they feel like this is all life has to be about because, you know, they think this is what's up. But I think that, you know, if we got back to that, I don't know now because, you know, some of the more intelligent elders, as they're starting to age and pass away, you have a lot of foolish old folks out there now. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of foolish grown-ups who try to be kids. You know what I'm saying? AB, you know, you get a pass, AB. You cool with me, babe. But the thing about it is, no, we didn't do that type of weird shit on phone. We didn't incriminate ourselves doing stupid ass shit. And we didn't do challenges because some goofball said some shit. That exactly, right? That's we was doing what regular niggas supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know some other shit. But the thing about this is, I would feel like we need to start looking to more educated, not even necessarily educated, experienced people to get advice. You know, because like I say, now it's all about the youth movement. You see, who's the dude? The dude that just had all that shit. These 18, 19-year-olds with followers of 10, 15 million people following them, and they look at these people as leaders in society. And these motherfuckers don't know shit, haven't experienced it, haven't really been through life. Yeah, you have a lot of money. Yeah, that's the one. And have a lot of money, but you have no life experience. You know, don't know right from wrong. This generation is more depressed than ever, and this is the people that you're going to for advice. You know, but it is what it is. So, I'm Cajuned, blackened, if you will. Hey, you know, go eat some blackened tilapia, nigga. But apparently people are going in for makeup advice, so you got all kind of millions of motherfuckers. But again, like I say, just different things. And it's not saying they're going to one person for all the same advice. But again, Kenneth, you nigga, I seen that picture you posted, nigga. You looking, you had some mascara on, And you know, you look like you had some old, you know, what's that other song? I don't even know what the fucking makeup's called. Oh, that's the only thing I can remember. Like some powder and shit on your face. You know what I'm talking about? But looking dainty. But I don't know about that. I don't know how they cook in Canada. And you had some old juvies. You had some. I ain't gonna even do you like that right now. It's too soon right now. But let's kind of get to the ancestors thing, and then I'm gonna open up the line. I want to get y'all's thoughts. I'm wasting too much time fucking off with Kenneth and shit. But the thing about it, like ancestors, right? Again, I know a lot of people who are into ancestral worship, doing things the way of the ancestors. And there's certain aspects of that to me that does make a lot of sense. But I don't think that you can apply all of it because we're in such a different day and age. And what I mean by that is, you know, the technology, the food, the things that have changed. You know, when you look at especially like the African thing and then you try to apply that on American soil, well, I think the foods are different. The environment is different. I think you're going to get a different outcome from some of these behaviors, some of these diets, some of these different things. Yeah, that makes you a terrible person, DeMarcus. But I understand the principles of it. I understand living your life a certain way. I know a lot of people these days are into, what do they call it, stoicism, which I guess is what ancient, who was that? Marcus Aurelius. And so, shut your ass up, quit crying, little nigga. I'm generalize what I want to you. You a general ass nigga. No general dollar ass nigga. And so ancient beliefs do have their place in society. Stoicism is interesting because, you know, it teaches you to try to live without or it teaches you to try to be even keeled, whether you have lots of material shit or you don't. Whether you are famous, you know, poor, rich, whatever it may be, but not to let those things define who you are. You know what I'm saying? You said you gotta win back-to-back MVPs. That's supposed to be you. Look, you can be a mod on Soft Sports TV. I don't even remember saying it the first time, so I don't know about that. But I just think there's a problem these days, and it's with the youth. The youth are wild, they're rambunctious, and again, they've always been to an extent. But you know, even if you talk about in a more urban lifestyle, you know, it used to be principles, it used to be codes to that shit. You had OGs who taught you, you know, a certain way to carry yourself. Now, these little niggas just jump off the porch running wild with no kind of foundation, with no kind of structure, with no kind of nothing, and then they just fucking. Just go crazy, you know what I mean? And so it's a different day and age. I do feel like the youth as a whole lack a lot of respect. You know what I'm saying? And but again, hey man, look, watch out there on the 70s folks. I ain't from the 70s, man, but hold on, man, watch out there now. Temple of Black Eroticism. How are you this evening? I ain't gonna lie, I was lurking. That's a wild one. Y'all gotta be careful for watch out for the temple. She'll do something bad to you. You know, look, not necessarily my behavior bag, but I'm looking. Very interesting stuff you got going on there. So shout out to Temple of Black Eroticism. But yeah, and I think it does have a lot to do with Hollywood, entertainment, just everything as a whole. We push this youth movement, we push this ignorance. We don't celebrate intelligence, we don't glorify it. You know, we're unappreciative, and when someone intelligent does come through, especially in certain communities, you know, they're nerds, they're losers, they're geeks, we have these derogatory names for them. But then when people come through that really offer you no benefit, we glorify and praise them for doing ignorant shit. Guys like Boat Gang and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, B, you peeped it. Look, yeah, you gotta peep it. You gotta check out some of them socials. But you know, Very interesting. Let's open up the live, man. I want to know your thoughts on if you are a believer in ancestral worship. I want to know your thoughts on if you are a believer in respecting your elders. Do you think that society has changed? Do you think that, okay, and that's true, the parents aren't parenting anymore. Do you think the parents are too busy trying to be youth now? People are trying to recapture their childhood, stuff like that? I want to know how you feel. I want to know what you guys think about, this topic in particular. Let me put on the proper ear gear. I don't know what happened to Boom. Boom shot himself, got to tripping. I know he said he was trying to change his life and quit with the nonsense, but that motherfucker was such an attention fiend. That motherfucker was doing all kind of stuff, fucking his face up, doing all that dumb shit. I know when he got shot too that he shot himself. I mean, no, that shit was so obvious. Oh, somebody shot Boom. No, that nigga shot himself. Wow, let's open this shit up. Let's see. Look, who is going to be number one today? Let me put the number up there for those who don't know. Y'all need to have this in your phones, locked in on speed dial. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's not it. Well, I guess I forgot to put that up. There's that. So if you want to follow my own personal socials, you can go to Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and then let me actually click the right thing here. Wow, there's the deadline. Interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. And ancestor altar, and look, I need some ancestor money. That's what's wrong with niggas nowadays. We need some of that ancestor money. We talk about generational wealth. Look, hey, holla at your ancestors, goddamn. No, but seriously, that sounds interesting. I would like to know, some more about that. Like I said, I'm always intrigued by others' beliefs, why they feel that way, how they learned it, and the impact that it has had on their lives. Because different strokes for different folks. I'm not trying to convert y'all to anything. I'm just intrigued by it all. Let's put this over here. Shit, them hoes loud. What you mean? I don't even wear these hoes half the time. I just let them play. Let me get my pimp on. Let me get my pimp hand strong. Shit. Nigga, what you know about 2002, nigga? You like 10 years old, nigga. So there's that. Balin, I worry about you, man. Women don't want to be at home with their children. Instead, women have massacred millions of our children. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to say. But again, where does it start? Are we not teaching the kids anymore? Are we not teaching them to be respectful? If parents are too busy trying to be friends with the children, is that why the children don't have respect? Let's see what we got going on here. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
No, I'm not going to say my name. You already know who it is.
This is Balin. What's the motherfucking deal, Balin? What's on your mind?
Oh, hell no, nigga. No, nigga. You know it's your boy, Rumble. Don't play me.
Already, Roman, what's on your mind, man? What would you like to drop in the den this evening?
I want to say shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody. Everybody know. People know who they are, man. They know I love them, blah, blah, blah. All right. About ancestors and elders, man. I had just went to my grandma. She was celebrating her 70th birthday. That was last Friday. And we all went up there and, talked about her and talked, why we appreciate her. And I think when it comes to elders, it's important, especially what elders do. Especially one thing important in your life. As your granny, especially grandma and grandpa. In some points of people's life, they raise you. So they look more as a father or a mother more than a grandpa or grandpa. A grandpa or grandma, I should say. And, you have to respect that without them, there is no you. It's that sense of course, love them because they love you and they take care of you. You know how grandparents, most times grandparents spoil you a little bit more than parents do. Not all grandparents, but a lot of times grandparents spoil you a little bit more. But it's just, you gotta think about what they went through. especially black people, they could have went through, of course, Jim Crow and all that just to get to here. You know, I know a lot of people don't have good views of Obama, but to see the first black president, to see impact. So you always got to respect that they worked hard for you to be here. You know, um, now when it comes to ancestors, I think I always talk about history. You know this, I told you I wasn't there started.
Yeah.
The thing about ancestors is important. You gotta learn where you come from, and I know people hate to hear that, but I've heard people say, "I don't know why I act like this. I don't know why my head texture is like this. I do this. I say the same way. My feet look the same way. My hands look the same way." Well, look at your ancestors. Yeah, you might not get from your mama, might not get from your daddy, but it could be you never know. Your great, your ancestor could have had the same goddamn hand as you. Could have had same traits, same nose, same lips. It's when because your ancestors are you. It's just they're not you, but they are you because you take things from them. I know it's probably some ways I act, some ways my body looks. I probably get from some ancestors that I don't know. You know, it's important to learn history because it makes you appreciate your future. It makes you appreciate, damn. It makes your life more interesting. Think about it. You can learn so many facts. Damn, my ancestor did this. My ancestor helped do this. He founded this. She founded this, or she had this big hit. And it makes you like, damn, my life is that important? Is that interesting? Is that great? That I actually it's like I have a purpose. It's like I'm actually like knowing that my ancestor did this. It makes me want to do more. It's not just important in my opinion to learn your history. I think it's more just you think about the interest. It's interesting that man, you never know who I could be related to. I could be related to fucking Nat Turner for all we fucking know. You don't know. You ever the world is so small. Everybody, in my opinion, is related, in a way. So I just think it's important to learn it. Not because it's just interesting. It's because you learn more about yourself just from learning about your own ancestors. You never know. By learning about that, you could be like fucking Roots. Find a whole village. These people might act just like you. I'm not talking for black. I'm talking for anybody. Those are a different country where your ancestor was from. You have whole family down there. You never know, man. And I just think it's interesting. And I do think people need to learn that history for that. Hey,
I got a question. I got a question for you, Roman. So, do you think that people who are familiar with their history and say they have someone, I don't necessarily want to say famous, but I guess someone who has been important to society in their bloodline, do you think that drives them to want to be a better person?
That's actually a good question. I think that can drive a person. I think it's either or. It's how the person is being raised and how that personality is. If they're already a person who, in my opinion, don't give a shit about their life or just don't care. I don't see that because if you're already in that mindset, I don't give a damn. This is how I'm living my life. This and that. Now, I do think that can change a person, but most likely of a person set on that, no. But I do think in most cases, yeah. I think if somebody of the day they figured out they're related to ancient kings, they're related to ancient queens, or they relate to somebody famous, you never know. You relate to fucking Cleopatra, Julius Caesar. You could relate to fucking, like I said, Nat Turner. Like I say, Harriet Tubman. I do think for most people that makes you wake up, damn. Yeah, I feel like that makes me a little bit special that my ancestors did all this. Why I can't do it? I have their blood running past me. I can do that same thing because I have the blood and the blood to do it. Actually, interesting. I don't want to go too long, but I actually had a friend who did a history test, and I actually didn't like him, but we ended up becoming friends towards the end of the school year. And he did an ancestry test, and he realized he was related to Napoleon.
Word?
That was crazy. You know, he showed me everything he showed. Yeah, he was related to Napoleon Bonaparte, the king of France. After the French Revolution, during the Napoleonic Wars, it was Napoleon. And, you know, that interested him. He said, man, my, ancestor was Napoleon. He was a king, which wasn't a good king, but I'm not going to go into history. Get back. I'm rambling Roman hashtag. But get back to that. Yeah, I do think yes. I do think a person, if you relate to some of my favorites, I think it can drive you to do better. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. And this friend of yours, what was, if you don't mind me being too nosy, what was his race? Was it a black person that was supposed to be related to Napoleon, or was he of a different
Oh
culture?
hell no, he was white as snow. I mean, Napoleon ain't fuck with no sisters, man. His ancestors like one
Shit,
person. Like,
y'all don't even know Napoleon was down with the swirl,
I
man.
mean, you got a point, man. You never
I'm
know. They
talking
could have
about
some
that
slaves,
nigga say you seen some of that
some woman
African
slave
ass. You
mama
be like,
type
hold
that
on.
ass. You
I
never
ain't
know.
they say, where they get? We ain't got this in France. I've seen nothing but French toast. I need some of that Africanized ass.
I
Yes.
mean, that's true. I mean, Creole people, that's where they come from. And you got a point.
Napoleon
Yeah.
Bonaparte. But anyway, let me stop with all the nonsense. Okay, okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, man. I just think, no, before I go, just people learn about your history, man. It's just important, man. It makes you a better person. It makes you, look at stuff in a different way. And even in bad history, it makes you improve yourself. So you never know, man. It can change your life. But that's my call, man.
All right, man. Shout out to Roman, man. Appreciate the call, man.
I mean, anytime.
Already. Man, Temple, that's a great question. If you did your history and found out your ancestor was a race trader, would you look at your whole bloodline differently? That's tough. That's tough, man. That's a real tough question. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
This is T.A. Trill. What up, Honcho?
What's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trio, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm just sitting over here laughing at Roman. Roman, you a funny ass nigga, man. Cause you sit up here, you call here all the time talking about this generation, this generation. Nigga, this your fucking generation. Fuck is you talking about? You make it sound like you an old nigga like the rest of us, man.
Tell you, Roman, a
You
whole
talking about
soul,
your
man.
damn self.
Yeah, Roman got
That's
some old
crazy,
blood,
nigga.
man.
You a teenager, bro. This is yo. This is you, nigga. All you, man. But
That's
I ain't
fuck.
disagree with that. You I just think that shit is funny. He make it sound like he exempt. Nah, nigga. It's how they gonna remember your motherfucking ass too.
Hey, man, Roman just letting us know it might be some hope for this generation left, man. You know, hey,
Oh, maybe so.
he gonna try to
Maybe
hold
so.
it down.
But see, I'm gonna tell you what Roman is doing. He listening to the older people, man, and I done learned so much by just sitting down and just having a conversation with elderly people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They give you so much game, and a lot of times you would think that what I'm saying, it ain't the same, time to change all the technology, but a lot of shit when you dealing with people is really fucking similar, bro. They not gonna know all the new technological shit. Like they ain't gonna be able to tell you what happened last week on the Atlanta Housewives or bitches, whoever, what the fuck show they watch.
Yeah.
But they can just tell you a lot about people and how certain things used to be. You can learn a lot, bro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why there's a disconnect now, and why these young people don't have respect for their elders like we did at one time, is because a lot of the bullshit is finally being called to the forefront. The elders been lying to the young people for so long, and now young people ain't trying to have it. They ain't trying to hear that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't lie to them.
Yeah.
Because the truth is out there. On the internet, you can readily find any piece of information that you want. All you got to do is just type in the question. It's there.
Yeah.
So when you got your people telling you one thing, and then you look online, and then all your friends are telling you something else, then you look it up, you're like, why the fuck is you lying to me? So now I can't trust you because you can't even keep it a buck with me. You know what I'm saying? So trust is at an all-time low. So people, they can't even trust their own partner, their sexual partner. They can't trust their family. They can't trust their friends. So it's a problem. So motherfuckers don't respect people. and I saw somebody else. I want to say it was, well, I don't know who it was, but it said I don't say sir to nobody.
That was the
I'm
market.
just the opposite. Yeah, I say sir and ma'am to everybody. I even do it to people that's younger than me.
Yeah.
It's just a habit. I was just raised that way. You know, when I respond, especially if I'm in a professional setting, it's yes sir, no ma'am, you know, shit like that. But the one thing I can't stand to get on my fucking nerves is when you say that to somebody, and then like say for instance a woman, because I had this shit happen to me all the time. Oh, don't call me ma'am. That makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Bitch, you is old. Fuck is you talking about? like, I'm 38. Bitch, I know you got at least 10 years on me. You damn near 50. Yeah, bitch, you old. Straight like that. So, and it's not only is that the older people lying to the kids, they lying to their damn self. Because when did this 30 is the new 20 shit come out? No, bitch, 30 is 30. Ain't no new 20. 20 is 20. That's it. I don't know where you get this new ass math from. Bitch, if you 30, you 30. Accept it. Roll with it. You're not a young bitch no more. You a medium bitch. You know what I'm saying? You in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Live your life accordingly. You don't need to be out there thotting with these young hoes.
Straight
That's
up.
why Isha Curry getting fucked up. Bitch, you not 20 no more.
Yeah, you missed your chance.
Yeah, that shit over with. It's a wrapper on it with cheese, like Wink say.
They said a medium bitch. God damn. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
everybody wanting to be, nah, man, come on. People don't want to be themselves no more.
Yeah.
So a lot of people lying to each other. Trust is at an all-time low. The old people don't have respect for the young people. The younger people don't have respect for the old people. It's just all fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, and that's crazy. Yeah, man, and what you said though about the old folks in the game, and I think though that's part of the problem too. That you know how you said that they go to the technology, they've been getting lied to, but I think where you were right is that elders give you that advice on dealing with people. Because depending on what they accomplished in life, you know, if they weren't very successful in life, you're not going to go to them for money advice if they broke, you know what I'm saying? But you'll be surprised who can give you game on dealing with motherfuckers, you know? There's motherfuckers who've been some damn dope fiends and been through some shit that you'll be surprised the beneficial life advice they can give you that, or the shit that you shouldn't do. I mean, there's people who've been on top of the world at one point in time and start fucking with that shit and then lost all the motherfucking, you know, lost all their sauce. But they still got a little bit of game. They remember certain shit. They know certain shit that they can pass on to you. It's old school folks. You may think that, you know, they outdated. They don't know what's happening. Man, you listen to the old folks will give you the uncanny talent on how to peep game. You'll be able to peep people from a distance. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of people are lacking these days because now, you know, we all on the phones. We all on the technology. We just looking at all the fake ass Photoshop and all that other stuff. And we're falling for the exterior. We're falling for the superficial. We're not really looking at the interior of people. We're not noticing those things that, you know, those red flags that should really stand out for me because people are oblivious to that shit now because it's just about, you know, superficial and appearances. That's good enough. People are willing to deal with that if something looks good, you know. So
Absolutely. And kind of like you said, I think you can learn a lot from other people's failures. You can learn a whole lot. So, like you said, you know, somebody who didn't do well with their money that you can't really learn from you. I think you can if you really are take it in a subjective manner because they looking at it in a certain way to where they're gonna try to put the blame on something or somebody else as to why it didn't work. But if you looking at just the facts of it, leaving the emotions out of it because it's not something that happened to you, you could take that into consideration on why did they fail. You might not tell them that to their face, but you be like, you know what? I see what he fucked up. He put all his eggs in one basket, and the shit didn't work out for him, so it fucked him over. Well, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm going to put a little here, a little less, spread it out, and then make all that shit work. That way, one of them fall off, I still got these other ones to back. See, it just depends on how you look at it. It really does. So all the information is out there. Yeah. And even some of what you consider bad information could be used as good information. Yeah. You just got to think of it in a subjective manner.
Okay. So I got one more thing for you. So it's some young heads in there, since they like to call us old heads and shit. There's some young Similacs in here. If you had one piece of advice to give them from your experience so far, what would you tell them?
from my experience so far,
Mhm.
I would have to say do your research. Do your research. Listen to what people say. Take that in consideration, but find out for yourself too. Go double check the shit. Because if it's something you're interested in, go do your own research to see, you know what I'm saying, the ins and outs of it. Because there's so many other people did the same shit that you doing, and they relaying the messages. The information is out there. So you can't always trust everything that other people say. But again, you got to take it into context. Look at it subjectively and not emotionally. So yeah, I think that would be the biggest piece of advice because there's so much shit that my parents didn't know that I didn't find out till I was older, which would have benefited me greatly if I would have knew when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? But you know, me being a young nigga at the time and thinking I knew everything and I ain't know shit, I found out the hard way my damn self, and I was supposed to be the smart one.
Yeah.
You know, I felt susceptible to it too. So just do your own research, man.
Yeah. And I agree with AB too. He said, and research the research, because yeah, you gotta know where your research, where your info is coming from, because there's a lot of biased studies and institutes and stuff that put out a certain type of information because they need a certain outcome. So I definitely agree with that.
I agree when I say that, and I agree with him completely. Like, don't just look up like one source. Look up a few sources, and then try to compile all that information together, and then come up with your own conclusion with all the information you got.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I got one more thing for you. I see these youngsters nowadays. They use the term old head. Now I know we generally from the same vicinity. So, what is the term that we used when we were younger to address older folks?
Grown folks.
Was it used with
grown people?
Was there another slang term that you use?
No, not really.
Okay.
I ain't never really thought about it. No, we just call them old folks.
Okay. Because what I was thinking, maybe like because I know when I was younger, we used to always having a conversation with the old school. You call them school. We say school.
Oh, okay, old school. Yeah, okay, old school. That was one, but I ain't never really used it that much.
Okay.
Old school is like for motherfuckers who older, but they cool. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got that respect for them because they got some game with them. Not like just like older people that you know what I'm saying, like in your family. It's not the same. Like old school ain't somebody that's a family unless he like that cool uncle type nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Old school is more like a nigga that's around the neighborhood that's cool and still be fucking with young bitches sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's old school. Nigga drive a Cadillac smoking a cigarette, you know what I'm saying, with the hat. You know what I'm talking about, with the feather in it. Honcho, you know what I'm
I already know,
man.
man. I already know. School. You be like, say school. They all be playing with it a little bit. They still have some young ways about them. They have some experience. But you can always still relate to them, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, So that's it. DeMar?
They will give you straight up game, no lie, no nothing. They tell you straight up what it was.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, young buck.
Yeah.
See that bitch right there? All that bitch right there wanted some money. I bet you if I flash a little jewelry to that bitch, I could have that hoe in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's old school, like right there.
Yeah, straight up. That's it. That's it. Straight up, just straight like that, man. Already. I just had to make sure I knew I wasn't the only one, man. Y'all young niggas don't know shit. Y'all using that old whack ass terminology. Your niggas, your young music is whack.
By the way, if your graduating class started with a 2 in the front, fuck all y'all. How you love that?
Huh? You feel me?
Already.
Straight up. Already, man. Professor Trill, man. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
Nah, I'm good.
Already, man.
Let them marinate on that there.
You know what I'm saying? That's the game y'all can soak up, man. But I appreciate the call there, man.
All right, Chief.
Already. Yeah. Marcus, you don't know nothing about that, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about that, man. You don't know nothing about that school, man. That used to be the shit, man. That's high school. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. It don't count. You only use the last 2 numbers, goddammit. Ain't nobody got time for that 2000 and stuff. You just use the last two goddamn numbers, man. But yeah, man, look. When I'm sipping my scissor. Where did Heidi? Who let Heidi in here? Who left the den door open and let Heidi in? Huh? Who did that? I know y'all supposed to lock the door when y'all get in here. You know what I'm talking about? So, there's that. You mad about that mod, Arden? But, my thing is this, though. There is always a way to benefit off of advice. There's always a way to benefit off of, learning something that even if, again, like if they can't give you the blueprint on how to do it, they can give you the blueprint on what to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Now you said something about the mod earlier. Like 10 minutes ago, you was talking about the mod, some shit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening? Hello.
Hi, this is Sean.
All right. Miss Sean, how you doing this evening?
I'm okay. What I'd like to say is that we should always respect our elders, but we should also at the same time keep our senses. So the message is respect your elders at all times, but keep your senses. Because you don't want to be at the table or at the conversation or in a situation where you're disrespecting your elders, because your elders always have something to deliver. But sometimes that's where the but comes in. Anytime you say the word but, that means a shift. You should always keep your senses, because at the same time, they don't know everything. But you don't need to run around like you know everything, because you know something new with the technology and stuff and things like that, like you're superior to them. Never do that, because you'll lose. You'll lose in your individual situation, because they're not going for that. But they're not perfect. We talked about, or somebody else talked about, the previous caller, you go and you say one thing and you get out here on the internet and you learn different. What I like to say to that is that sometimes a lot, and I've got I have 2 elders, and I feel so proud and humbled. 89-year-old grandmother on my mother's side and 93 on my father's side. And oh my gosh, if you see them, they just look beautiful. Their skin is beautiful, eyes are clear, everything, senses are there. But I do take from looking at them. So if they made it that long, I got to work to make it, they're part of my motivation. But I also understand that, and on top of that, let me add, actually both of them, they don't even have any more than the 8th grade or education. No, yeah, way back then, 8th grade education, but they worked their way up, and did a lot of things that I'm not really going to share. But they did wonderful things. They worked at, both of them actually worked with abandoned children, and these women, they give up their kids, and they worked with the babies and things. They did house cleaning. They worked as a teller, like back then they called it people who answer telephones and stuff. I mean, they still do. I guess they call it a secretary now. It's an official job. But anyhow, they had no education. That's all I gotta say. But they had no education. But now with their leaving me, we got all these acres of land. I mean, we got everything. They held it down. Whatever it is that they did, they held it down. Okay, and they kept it intact. So and they did it without a beeper. We gonna take this shit way back. A beeper. They did it without a cell phone. They did it without a fucking Facebook. They did it without a fucking Twitter. or Instagram or Snapchat. Give them that respect, okay? And a lot of times, I think there probably was some deception, but the deception was primarily for protection, okay? Because I'm thinking to myself, if I grew up thinking that, everything is just so mainstream, but I'm just trying to figure out how my mindset would be if I grew up, and that's when I'm dealing with my kids, knowing that everybody hated me because I was black and everybody, all of this killing, all of this violence. I'm wondering if I would have my imagination, that imagination, and the imagination is your dreams and your motivation. That's what you hold on to grow and to become who you are. And so I think that sometimes they did probably lie to us and they deceived us. And the reason why is because they didn't want them to know, they didn't want us to know they were protecting their babies. They did not want us to know how ugly this world was. And they didn't want us to be debilitated with that mindset. So just give them a little card on that. And another thing I wanted to say is that as we know better, when you know better, what do? You do better. Okay? So now we knew what they had to do. Don't blame them for it. Okay? Just try to understand it in advance and take it a different level. And then that's when we move to picking the sense from the nonsense. Okay? So you've got to do that as everybody develops, as a woman, a man, a child, a teenager. You got to learn how to pick the sense from the nonsense. I love that saying. I say it to my kids all the time. Don't worry about what the elders told you. You just respect them. Here's your job. You just need to understand what sense and nonsense that's coming out their mouth. Because it's going to be a whole lot of shit coming out of their mouth. And that's just basically what I have to say tonight. And elders should always be respected, but as millennials, new generations, keep your senses. Don't let it rule. It's not a rule. It's just a compass. Okay, if you into a map or anything, you know anything about navigation, it's a compass. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's your path. That elder is going to be your compass, your moral compass, your path. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you got to choose that path. So that's when you say, pick the sense from the nonsense, and you got to just dig into your intuition from there. Okay. And as far as that Roman is learning a lot from these conversations, but Roman already got it all up in his head and his spirit. So he's got, we laugh it off, and it is funny, but it's good. Yeah. Because what that does, anytime I hear Roman talking the way that he talks, to be me I consider myself somewhat of an elder. I ain't there yet, but I'm like on the fence. I'm almost there, Honcho, but I'm going to tell you, every time I hear Roman, it makes me feel happy. Yeah. I feel happy when I hear Roman because I feel like there's hope. I feel like some of these damn millennials got some damn sense. Yeah. So we need to uplift Roman and keep him talking and keep him in his highest level and his most confident, because he needs to spread some of that Roman all through them schools and everywhere else. And that's all I got to say. Love you, Honcho.
I already love you too, Miss Shawn. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, good night. Heidi, Roman is no one's project. You take that back. Nah, man. She dropped some nuggets on y'all. If y'all not listening, y'all ain't peeping game, man. You better get on your shit. Pick the sense from the nonsense. I'm rocking with that. And that she's accurate about a moral compass. It is not your path. It is not, don't let them have don't believe that they have so much control over you that you just got to follow the same steps that they did. But it's a moral compass. And then also, all the people now think they're so intelligent because, and here's the thing, people aren't more knowledgeable; they're more aware, and that's how the internet fools people, because you can go Google something and read something real quick. You're more aware of situations. It doesn't make you more knowledgeable about them, and that's what people think. They think because they Google something that they've just got some new nugget of intelligence, when they really didn't do really much due diligence into searching or researching and understanding. It's like, oh, I Googled something, I know everything now, and that's not the case. And what she said about them being able to do all these things without this modern technology and be able to hold down all this stuff without all that technology, without all, Facebook alerts telling you this is going on, and all these websites and these social medias telling you that you're supposed to do this, that, and the third. They figured out a way on their own without that immediate access to this type of information. You got everything you want in the palm of your hand, and kids are more depressed than ever. You got everything you want in the palm of your hand, and kids are dumber than ever. Some kids, I think as a whole, they're more reliant on this other stuff. They're less independent. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Right, Shout out Soul Better. Shout out to the female pimp. What's the motherfucking deal? I don't know if I said I Miss Yasmin a shout out when she got in here, but shout out to Miss Yasmin. Man, and that's the crazy stuff, man. That's the crazy stuff. Kenneth is the one, you just maybe consider a trade school. Ain't nothing wrong with a trade school. So first, don't take that wrong. But yeah, he's a kid that he gonna have to start working after school. He can't. Everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Kenneth, we're gonna stay talking shit about your ass, because you was in here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, whenever you, like I tell you, Kenneth, make sure you are there. Hop on the bus after you leave Planet Fitness to wherever the first Soft Sports meet and greet is gonna be at, or you can come to the Den Men's. We know you can't, because you're too young for that. Well, we plan on having the first one, and feel free, because I'm dead serious. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think, look, I can't, I have to be in that type of mood, so I can't make the breakup face. I'm gonna slap the shit out of Kenneth. I like Kenneth, but I don't want y'all to misconstrue. I like Kenneth. I think Kenneth, he got his own little way about him, and he got his own little trolling method, and that's just kind of what he does to be annoying. And I think Kenneth, wants to be a better individual. And, he low-key be peeping on it. I'm going to slap the shit out of Kenneth. Like, y'all, look. I like Kenneth. So I'm slapping. Nah, Kenneth could work with me. Kenneth get on my motherfucking nerve, man. I'd be there to kick Kenneth's ass. But, it would be all love. It would be tough love. But like I say, man, Miss Shawn dropped a lot of game on that last call. Y'all better be peeping game. Especially some of you youngsters, you young schools. That don't even work. But y'all definitely need to be peeping some of this stuff, man, because this is advice that you need. I know Kenneth jumped out to go catch the latest James Charles video, so he can keep his appearance up. He be sharing tips with that dude in his class he always talking about, where they were watching the feminist videos and stuff. That's Kenneth's homeboy. No school. All right, I'll make sure whenever we have a meet and greet, I'll make sure I have a nice one for you. And if you bad, get that hoe. I encourage you. Because you sure won't be making it to next season. You gonna miss the season fucking with me. Put that shit on a shirt. I might have to, babe. Look, I want you to succeed. I'm glad that you made varsity and all that other stuff. I would hate to be the reason that you don't get to play. But, it's gonna be out of you. Think that tight end did something to you. Well, I don't need no pads, no helmet on me. But, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. This is very important stuff. And we joke and we have fun. We have a good time, and we have a good time. See, here's the deal, though, Kenneth. 5A was the highest class available before they started saturating shit and then making it 6A. So that was the biggest division in football in Texas before they made a 6A. So, while you talking that nonsense, know what you're talking about. I know you young. I know you ain't got no game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, true. There's a 6A now. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It used to be 5A. You know what I'm saying? 5A was it. And then now, you know what I'm saying? Well, okay, so what does that mean? That shit is for simps. Like if you making a team, then shit, it must not be that hard. Yeah, these motherfuckers got looking like college campuses and shit. Yeah, 23. I can't remember what we were either 23 or 22. I can't remember which one we were. But like I say, we were in there. All right, Temple, you know, I'm going to be checking that page later on. Pondering and questioning. Trying to learn from the Temple. But, you know, cause like I said, we do shit. That's when we was going up against North Shore every motherfucking year. That shit was for the birds. Niggas in that bitch tapping. I'm like, y'all niggas, look. Y'all niggas, it's like, okay, you went to lead 25, 5A, so it was 25? Damn, I don't remember what it was. I thought it was 22. Shit, nah, North Shore punked some niggas. But look, it wasn't all that, man. I remember the year before, North Shore put a hurting on us. That was the year that they were supposed to go undefeated and Lee beat them. And then, them niggas, North Shore niggas used to be grown and fucking niggas going to Cunningham and C.E. King and shit. Them niggas was pulling up to the game and they own cars, nigga, like shit. Niggas, you y'all gotta take a bus to get here? These niggas got licenses and shit. I remember this one nigga, talking about, I like cornbread or something off the wall he said. I was like, this nigga here. Oh no, he told somebody on the team, y'all niggas need to eat some cornbread, some shit. I was like, I remember that shit from fucking junior high. Them niggas used to be big, like, damn, nigga. We used to play like Humble. I remember shit. That's when niggas had Jackie Battle and ended up going to fucking U of H with him. And that nigga was still running niggas over. 1676, what's the motherfucking deal? Remember, Humble had two calls running back to back. They had Jackie Battle and what was the other nigga named Chris Alexander. This nigga used to punch niggas. This nigga did not stiff arm niggas. This nigga used to punch niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh. I remember, man, we played North Shore. This nigga fucking Chad McCullough. That's my partner too. He been my partner at U of H. He went to U of H too. This nigga shot two brothers on the same play, nigga. Mm-hmm. Man, I remember one year we went to play Central. Them niggas hold up. Them fucking Beaumont wrestlers some hoes, nigga. All them niggas know. Them niggas, the game was coming out. We had a chance to come back. This niggas talk about, oh, well, if you guys don't stop talking, we're just gonna hold the ball till the clock run out. Wow, really? Word? That's how you gonna do this? I'm talking about like the softest nigga on our team. This nigga snapped and went crazy, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Like this nigga lost his shit. Parents trying to get on the field, trying to fight. You know, my people out of Beaumont, they was like, y'all, you ain't gonna beat Central. Shit, I got in trouble. I didn't even start that game because the nigga came back to the thing late. It was me, shit, Baker, man. It was me, Jack. There's a couple other niggas that ain't started. And then we was laughing in the back of the bus on the way there. And then, you know, coach, you know who that nigga got, man. So y'all niggas think everything funny, kikiing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas on the bus, that nigga Kev was on the bus talking shit. So I say, watch, we was on the sideline. I say, man, I guarantee we get in before this first drive over. Man, look. Them niggas got that hoe and started moving that bitch. Them niggas started moving that bitch down the field. Get in the game. I said, I told y'all. I told y'all, nigga. It took about 3 plays, nigga. Like, y'all know who is the backups? Y'all sure y'all want to do this? Y'all trying to prove a point? Okay, go for it, nigga. I can't remember how, but we lost the game by, I think, about 4 points. It wasn't a whole touchdown. I remember they had a motherfucking that quarterback there. That's when they had who was that nigga named Ivory? Ivory, well, that nigga was like a track star, but he ended up getting hurt. Shit, Charles ain't took me, nigga. And then let me see, that nigga was fast. I'm about to just run this nigga down back. So I'm like, nigga, I'm running chasing this nigga. I'm passing up linebackers. I'm passing up. So I'm like, where the fuck? How am I the only nigga about to catch this nigga? I stuck that nigga from the field. This nigga, we ended up landing on the fucking concrete on the track. I stuck the fuck out that nigga, man. Stop with the nonsense. Timmy Chain, nigga, please. That nigga was a system quarterback. But, you know, it is what it is. But, y'all niggas need to listen to your old heads. You know what I'm saying? Give us white people talk. Oh man, look, hold on, let me switch it up for you. Well, see, this is what was going on back then, you know. Hey, let me tell you about the glory days of football. Look, man, we had leather helmets, and those things were tough, all right? I'm gonna explain it to you. You know, you just kind of, you didn't have the face mask, you know, and we didn't have all this fancy grill and stuff that you had going on. I mean, look, man, those guys were big. And those guys were some mean jokers, let me tell you. But no, man. What's the motherfucking deal, Ed Smith? Vince Young was freshman, you played? Yeah, man. Let me see. Vince's year, I think that was the year North Shore and Madison played each other. That was like my junior year when North Shore and Madison played each other in the Dome. That was a hell of a game, man. That was a hell of a fucking game. North Shore, they was just cold, man. That motherfucker was real. I mean, nigga, I'm talking about dudes getting stiff armed. Have you ever seen somebody in real life get put in the Matrix? That's all love, Ed. That's all love, man. Man, when I say I saw somebody get put in the Matrix, like, have you ever seen a nigga like get stiff armed and this nigga try to like make a hit and get stiff armed and like freeze in mid-air and just, I mean, the only thing was missing was just the rotation of the camera. Like, everything stood still for a second. You know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. But let's get back to it. We're talking about elders. We're talking about respecting the elders. And I think that's very important. But I think some things were said, you know, about how Jay Dizzle pointed out and Ms. Shawn pointed out that there were things that they did not say to us. There were things that they kind of kept from us, and there were lies that are told. But I kind of agree with Ms. Shawn that, you know, it might have been for our best interest, especially being young, you know, and this was the days before everything you wanted to know was on the fucking internet. And I think that's part of the problem now. You know, you get on that phone, you get on that tablet, whatever, you can see so much gruesome shit. Like, we had to work for our shenanigans. You know what I mean? I'm just ignoring you, James, just for the hell of it. And so, you know, we talked the other day about, you know, what was it, Spice? You know what I'm saying? You had to watch through the fucking the snow, you know, trying to sneak and catch it. You know, look, man, look, you know how hard it was to try to sneak and watch porn on fucking dial-up internet? It was terrible. It was terrible. I was the outfielder. That's what I played. Kenneth, you work on that false step, then you holler at me. All right, get your footwork right. Again, though, you know, like I said. Again, though, but I think that things were said to prevent us from seeing stuff. But now you have access to anything. You just Google it. You Google it, and it's right there on your phone. It's right there in your face. And so now these kids see all kind of stuff. Here's the thing that I think has changed a lot, and I was mentioning earlier about the way we handle something, why there's less respect, because we talked about talked about parents trying to be friends with their kids now. So kids almost see their parents as peers instead of, as guardians, as instead of, being a person who should be guiding them through life. And the problem with that is there's no disconnect. Now, I remember being young, but they used to always tell me, stay your ass out of grown folks' conversations. You know what I'm saying? And go on. We talking over here. You go over there. Go somewhere else. Go do something else. But now people just let their kids be all in the conversation. They be in there just allowing them to participate in the conversation. And I'm not with that. Like even with the little one, like I said, I'm like, hey, you trying to speak for? Cause I came in today, and I asked my old lady something, and the little one was in there washing dishes, and she tried to answer for it. I'm like, okay, did I ask you? You know what I'm saying? Did I ask you? Because we just got on your ass about this. Because it was something she had asked me the other day, and then she tried to answer. Like, look, when I'm speaking to you, you know I'm speaking to you. You need to, know your place. I was talking to your mom, and that's what I want to answer. I don't let you continue to focus on what you're doing. You over here in our conversation, it ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? And so that is the thing that I'm a staunch proponent of. Look, it's not even about being seen and not heard. It's just about know your place. This ain't your conversation. You know what I mean? Let's see, we got calling in. Let's see. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we got calling into the den this evening? Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Who we got calling in tonight?
This is Philip. I'm from California.
All right, Philip from California. What's on your mind,
man? So just recently I came out of one of my political science classes, and we did presentations about a film. Mm-hmm. And so I was wondering your opinion about the film Get Out and its kind of political topics in its film.
That's a pretty interesting conversation. Get Out I enjoyed the entertainment value of the movie.
Okay.
But as far as that's a damn good question. I kind of got to think about that for a second. I don't know, because maybe I look at stuff a little bit different than others. I get where he was going with it, but I guess that maybe because I don't necessarily agree with, the premise of it. What is it that the white people are taking over black folks and using them to get in a better position or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, man. That's actually a very tough question. I'd have to really take some time to think about that. You kind of got me on that one right now, but it's I don't know. I just saw more so for entertainment value than really seeing too many of the underlying messages. And I know that he spoke on it a lot and what he was trying to say. But what did you personally come out with it?
Well, when watching the film, I noticed that there's a lot of imagery going on and a lot of symbolism. You could tell at the end of the film, if you can recall, the police sirens that went off, and as a viewer, you was normally when watching other films, you see the police sirens and you immediately assume that there's going to be some sort of good ending, but in this situation, in our current political climate, you see how what the police does, and when you see the police sirens at the end of the film, you assume that the protagonist Chris is going to be arrested for his crimes, and that did not occur as his friend, I forgot his name, but the TSA agent was the one who was in the car. So it's really just flipping the script in the way, rather than having an ending where you assume that police sirens indicate a good ending. You assume that Chris is going to be arrested. So that was something that really stood out to me after watching the film.
Okay. Okay. And I'll be honest, I have to kind of recap some. I'm trying to, just think, kind of replan it in my head a little bit.
Right.
But I'm trying to think. I know the big premise was talking about the sunken place, and I know they made a big deal about what that was supposed to mean. And I guess I don't know, man, because I guess it's because I don't necessarily relate to it. But I know a lot of people made a big deal about that. And I guess maybe because maybe my feelings are different. So maybe over things that were intended to be interpreted in a certain way that maybe I just didn't grasp. But okay, I see what you're saying though about the ending. About you think it's going to be a negative situation. Because what happened right before the police sirens? Was that did he kill that grandpa? Was that what happened? I think right before then, or something like that. Something happened with the grandpa or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe that he killed the grandpa. He was like laying on top of him, and or maybe it was the girl. I can't remember exactly the sequence, but that it was like at that moment he was kind of he held ground against them, and then immediately, like out of nowhere, the sirens went off.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again, honestly, because like I say, when I caught it, like I say, I agree that there was a lot of symbolism and stuff, but I just saw it more for the entertainment factor than looking too deep into it. So I may have to watch it again and maybe try to derive my own conclusion from that. But what kind of grade did you get on it?
I'm sorry?
What kind of grade did you get on your? You said it was a paper, or that you had to kind of do a breakdown on?
It was a presentation that not a presentation that I did, but one I listened to. So it's just kind of circling my mind tonight, and just something that I was thinking about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that man. Like I wish I could have gave you a better answer to that, but like I say, it's when I watch movies, I'm just kind of I don't necessarily look too deep into them, so I'll have to maybe go back and watch that again, and then if you're tuning in at another time, maybe I can give you a better. I can expound on that further.
Yeah, I mean, like when you watch films, you don't really want to go like beneath the surface of them, but as like you rewatch them again, and then you start to notice like these like minor details that actually like mean a lot to the whole story of the film, and it's just something that I find very interesting. And I mean, there are a lot of like philosophical concepts like in these films, and I mean they're like it might even become like more entertaining to watch when you actually consider them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably absolutely right on that. Philip, maybe if you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I'm always curious. So how did you come across the den, if you don't mind me asking?
If I came across the what?
How did you come across the den, if you don't mind me asking?
The end?
The den, the channel.
Oh, the den? Oh, I was looking at various live streams, and I happened to find your channel.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for answering my call. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Check us out and maybe call back again soon. Love to hear from you.
Awesome.
All right.
Great. Thanks.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Philip, man. Heidi, fuck you. Heidi is a hater. I told y'all Heidi is cyberbullying me, and she will be getting a call from my lawyer very soon. The only movie that I got super deep into was like The Matrix. The Matrix was an eye opener because that was like one of my favorite movies back in the day, and I would make everybody watch that shit. I'm a part of that. He hated like sci-fi type shit. And he's like, man, I'm not finna watch this shit, man. Fuck this shit. I put that nigga on that shit. That nigga, man, let me borrow your DVD, man. I want to watch that shit again. Like, see, look, I told you. I told you. Matrix was my shit. Heidi don't want no smoke. I'll be handling Heidi in a few months. You ain't know nothing. Female pimp. Shit. But nah, I seen someone calling in, and if you want to call back in, I saw someone calling in, and if you want to return that call, because like I said, I try to do my best not to hang up on folks unless it was somebody talking nonsense. Only hang up on Kenneth. But here's my thing: The Matrix, and you know what? Another movie that did kind of have a little bit of an impact. Fight Club. Fight Club was a very interesting movie to me. You know what I'm saying? So the Last Dragon. Last Dragon was the original Super Saiyan, man. Niggas was hating. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? That boy went Super Saiyan. The first Super Saiyan, this is a small historic fact. First Super Saiyan was black. So there, put that in Black History Month. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Man, you know who is interesting to me? You know who is very interesting to me? Fucking Keanu Reeves. Like, I think Keanu Reeves is a terrible actor. I think he's a terrible actor. But he has certain movies where he's perfect for that role. You know what I'm saying? The John Wick series. I've only watched 1 and 2. I've heard a lot of people say 3 is pretty good. They're supposed to be working on the 4 coming out in 2021. Speed was my shit. Speed was a very interesting movie. Not a movie that a lot of people talk. I know we talked about some old movies and stuff the other day, but nobody mentioned Speed, I don't think. But Keanu is interesting. He's not a very deep actor. You can't give him a role that, you know, where the character is just, I think simple roles are ideal for Keanu. I ain't hating on him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm with it. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the den. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he seems like a cool dude, though. You know, he was talking about, they said they did a little interview with him. He was just talking about, you know, depression and dealing with some, you know, personal issues and things like that. And he doesn't seem like, you don't ever see Keanu in a lot of the Hollywood nonsense. That's an actor I don't recall being in any of these shenanigans and shit that you always hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's very intriguing. That's word. Still Ride published, man. I ain't fucking with that nigga on no public. I've seen the first 2 John Wicks. I'm gonna probably try to catch the other one this weekend or something. That nigga was whooping ass on the public transportation. I ain't finna fuck with that nigga. End up with a pen in your head, nigga. Don't do it. But he seems like a legit guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I paid a whole lot of attention to him, but just oh man, Bill. Why I used to always get Bill and Ted mixed up with what's the other one? Wayne's World. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like I used to get them motherfuckers mixed up. Man. But here's the thing. Did he? And if y'all ain't seen John Wick 2, well, that's y'all bad. But did he kill Common? You know, Phil doesn't know what the den. Well, if Phil sticks around, man, hopefully Phil becomes a member of the den. You know, like I say, everybody's welcome in the den. We're gonna talk a little crazy. You know, it's not a this or that. A lot of variety here. And I wish I was a little bit, honestly, I wish I was a little bit more prepared for his comment. It caught me kind of off guard, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for what he asked. You know, so I apologize for that, Phil, if you're still listening. But hey, man, you're always welcome in here. We do this every night, 10 p.m. Central to midnight. So, you know, just kind of how we rock. Matter of fact, let me throw this up there. Wow. Here we go. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's Yas.
Yes, how you doing this evening, Yas?
I'm doing all right. I know you guys are talking about movies and stuff. Homeboy in the comments, mess John Wick up for me. So, you know, I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to go see it now. If you tell me Common's dead now, what's what I mean? You know,
No, you gotta watch. It's still worth the watch. That's like a minor part. Well, except that was John Wick 2. So it's like it plays a part, but I mean you knew it was gonna happen because of the sequels and stuff. But it's just the way you still have to see how it goes down because it's the thing about John Wick. They're not complicated. It's actually just a lot of good action. I think that's what makes them good because they're not overcomplicating the story, But the action scenes are just great. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I might go and give it a chance. Wait till it get on demand or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to call in to talk to you about, you were sharing your story before we start talking about the movies about, you had some kids speaking out of place or whatnot, and about, respecting elders and just the disconnect between the generations. From my opinion, like what I've observed that, there is a disconnect. I think the information, like the boom of technology, the internet, and all that good stuff, is causing a disconnect because it's presenting these kids with topics and information that they're able to see and look up for themselves before, parents or older people are ready to reveal that to them. Sometimes, if kids receive certain information too soon, they may not even be ready to really appreciate it or absorb it. But I feel like when it comes to conversation, you almost have to teach them how to talk. I mean, it's one thing to cut somebody off and be disrespectful and rude, but I feel like kids should learn how to talk these days because, their mouth, like people, the old school, they should be seen and not heard. But these days they have to be heard because it's their protection,
Yeah.
They, you don't know what could be going on, who could be on the other end talking to them on their phone or whatnot they may have. And this person could be clear across the country getting ready to send them a plane ticket to come,
Yeah.
So I think the generations, people of an older generation should kind of relax a little bit and maybe learn to listen. And then when you listen to hearing what these kids are saying, then you'll be able to come back with some wisdom and shut them up that way,
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you. 100%. Like my deal with that is just like if I'm targeting my conversation to a specific person, and my deal is like you said, kind of jumping in and cutting off. Like say if I'm targeting my conversation to her mom, then let her mom speak. I'm not speaking to you. But whenever she has something, like we'll sit her down, try to every week to just say, hey, how's things going at school? Is there anything that you want to talk about? And sometimes we kind of gotta coax it out of it. We gotta ask certain questions, and I think that's very important to ask certain questions because sometimes kids don't want to speak it. If they've been, taught a certain way, then they won't reveal certain things because they may they're trying to, process that shit inside and they don't know if it's something they should or shouldn't talk about. And so when we sit down and actually talk to her, asking certain questions, and I'm very observant about her reactions, and I've learned her mannerisms very well, so I can tell when she's fabricating something or lying about something. So I'll change the question up a little bit, or until she'll kind of express this, well, why she feels this, or what's going on in her mind. And I do believe that's very important, and we try to be a resource for her to come to and talk with. Hey, you can talk to us about anything. There's a way that you talk about stuff, but I do agree with you that you have to listen to the kids because, especially like you said, this day and age with technology and all that other stuff, there's so much access to the kids. I want to say it was that Minecraft or Roblox or whatever that shit is that kids like playing because she had a little friend who used to always be on there, but they had like little chat rooms and all that, and so we kind of had to sit her down.
Yeah,
and
but
talk to her about stuff.
I have a job where I'm talking to a lot of young men that are in their 20s, and these grown ass men in their 20s, they talking about games. You would think a 12 or 13-year-old be talking. Would get on the chat and play. Yeah. So you don't know if they're playing their headsets or whatever with the PlayStation or whatnot, and you thinking they talking to other little kids, but really be grown folks in there. That that's still in love with those little Minecraft games or whatnot, and they'll be in there talking with them. So I feel like that old school type of parenting or dealing with kids, I think we may have to like ease up a little bit on that. But I think, like you said, there is a fine line to being respectful and being disrespectful at the same time. I think that's where us as parents or as guardians or older people in the home or whatever, we need to draw that line or make those lines clear to the child that, okay, yeah, you could talk and speak your mind, but there's a certain tone, there's certain words you're going to come at me with that because I am older, and you're going to have to give me that respect because, you're the man of the house, she have to give you that kind of respect. So I feel you on that one,
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, but I think that old school type of parenting, I'm an 80s baby. I'm in my 30s. My mom grew up in like the 60s or whatever, 70s. And so, yeah, you talking something, bam, you got backslapped in the teeth,
What?
And so, and I might have had something really important I need to tell my mama, but I couldn't really tell her because I was so afraid to even say anything to her because, she had that old school mentality, oh, you don't talk unless I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably, we need to get past that now in this day and age because, like you said, there's so many people out there that has access to your kids that you don't even know anymore. You think they're talking to other little kids when it could be, a 28-year-old sitting in his drawers in his apartment across town, chatting with them on some Minecraft stuff,
Yeah.
when he need to be, getting himself ready for work. Instead, he up all night playing with the kids online. So, I feel, I'm somebody, I definitely feel it took a lot for me to try to, kind of understand, okay, it's a change in times. And because of that internet and all the little different chats and stuff that we have now, I think that, my mom couldn't tell me how to raise or how my son should be able to speak, because in her days, back when I was young, his age, I didn't have no cell phone. Not too many people I knew had a cell phone. It was just coming out. So,
I agree.
that's just my thoughts on it. I don't know if we're still on that topic or not, but, I wanted to kind of put my little 2 cents in.
Yeah, the den be all over the place sometimes, but we always feel but I agree with you.
Yeah.
We have to adapt because the times are not the same, and so you have to adjust for the technology. You have to adjust for the culture, because there's a lot of things.
And I know sometimes people in our generation, we may feel like we want the same respect that we gave Big Mama or we gave, but we're not in the same times, So I think sometimes we may have to kind of be willing to bend a little bit with the times too, because sometimes I think to myself, shit, I should be Miss Jones,
Yeah.
You call me Miss or something, but that's not in reality, shit, my boss is older than me. I mean, younger than me. I'm older than my boss, so it's just different times,
Yeah, I'm big on that yes ma'am, no sir type thing too. And it was funny because I saw a little meme the other day and it was talking about your grandma was like a grandma or something. And it's like, your grandma asked you something and you say yeah, and then in the next line she was like, what was that? And it was like a little face, the way that little thing made the face where they were just like, oh yes ma'am. And now that shit is me, because anytime she be like some yeah or I'm like, oh, what was that? Oh, yes, sir. Or she do a mama like that. Or what was that? Oh, yes, ma'am. Like, I'm big on that. I'm lenient in some facets, but in some things, it's just, look, there's some shit I'm not going to fold for. It's not common courtesy.
Yeah, but hey, look, I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was this Kenneth guy or whoever. Somebody was calling before, and it was like a medium bitch. That's when I start telling people, they ask me, how old are you? How old are you? I'm a medium bitch. Don't worry about it.
That's all you gotta let them know.
Yeah, they cracked me up, boy. We got some characters here, but yeah, it was real. That's just my little 2 cents on it. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, well, Miss Yasmin, man, I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, all right, cool, thanks.
All right, you have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Man, but look, yeah, the times have changed, man, because trust me, Trust me. It wasn't none of that behavior that's acceptable now that they encourage now wasn't working back then. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? It's AB.
Man, AB, what's the motherfucking deal, man?
Shit, I can't call it off, call it.
Oh, okay. Man, I ain't got a chance to check your the podcast yet, but I'm gonna check it out after the den, man. But how was it? How did everything go?
Oh, man, it went well, man. I was tired and shit. I didn't get to really talk as much as I really wanted to because, man, the conversation was kind of getting loud.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was pretty fun, man. I had fun doing it, though. It's funny, the perspectives we have, man. You know, we be going through the same shit, and our perspectives are so different.
Right.
You know, and that actually came out in there. So, I think when it came down to it, we just in case anybody not know what the fuck we talking about, we did a podcast about singles tonight, and so, you know, we was just chopping game about, you know, not trying to come to any conclusion on what's or helping anybody, you know, overcome anything single. It's just going over, you know, what we experienced, why we're single, and what does single actually mean? What does it mean, you know, to people? Shit, but it was pretty cool. But on the respect thing, man, I seen the respect level drop just with me and my sister. My sister's like 2.5 years younger than me, and I seen where my mom was more lax with her respecting her than she was with me growing up. And that's just 2.5 years apart.
Yeah.
So I think when parents got older, they started to be a little bit more lax in their parenting. I mean, my sister used to say shit to my mom. I used to like hold my breath, like, "Oh, you about to get your ass," you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I see her get away with the shit. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I mean, my mom used to my mom would be with my own fucking radio, bro. Like, like, she played no games, bro.
Radio.
Like, I remember my mom used to have them. I used to tell her, I said, "You got them crazy eyes," because she'll look in my face and her eyes be dancing from left to right. Like, I can see like the craziness, like, you know, building up inside. I'm like, oh shit. I used to have to like restrain her when she get mad. I'm like, hey, you can't whoop me with the buckle side. You know what I'm saying? Flip the belt around. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna let you hit me with this buckle no more. I promise you. And she telling me, let it go, let it go. I said, I'm not letting it go. If you don't stop hitting me with this buckle. And then that's when she picked up the damn radio and hit me side of the head with that bitch. I'm like, God damn. But I work in a test site, right? And for the most part, man, I see a lot of people have, man, respect. You know, even I don't like the shit when I see the youngsters like, oh yes sir, yes sir. You know, I'm like, man, I'm all right with that shit. It's fine, but for the most part, man, the ones that are rude, like they all the way rude. They not. It seems like they never learn how to be respectful, right?
Yeah.
So and I don't know if it's privileged or what, but they'll come in, somebody be talking to me, and they'll just cut right in front of them and talk to me like that person wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And I'll say, excuse me. I said, and I'll say, ma'am or sir, if you don't see that I'm speaking with someone right now, and you can take yourself to the end of this line, and I'll get with you when I can.
Yeah.
And like, I love checking rude ass motherfuckers because I don't know, I get a high off that shit. Cause like, I hate when people feel like they more important than the next person just because they feel like, and I'm not sure what the fuck even call it. I don't know if they call it privilege or what, but some people like to put themselves above everyone else, like no one else matters but them. Yeah. And I see that with with some kids and in the videos we see like with the school people, like the kids in school, like ignoring teachers and whatnot. I don't know if you saw that, but with because I was a detention officer, man, so I recognize this response. But the little boy was just talking to this man, and the man was like, "Man, don't you understand? I can hurt your little ass."
Yeah.
And then he, all of a sudden, he just grabbed his ass down and just put his one arm down on his ass and held him down like he was a dog and shit.
Yeah.
And was like, I told you, don't fuck with me, boy. Don't fuck with me. So that's what I used to do, man. These damn kids, man, because some of these kids were bigger shit.
Yeah.
Like some of these kids were bigger than me.
Yeah.
So, and me being in the position I was in, I would let them know. I say, look, man, I'm not scared of your ass.
Yeah.
I said, because you got to understand there's a difference between boy strength and man strength.
Exactly.
You can be bigger than me, but I'm going to fuck you up. And you ain't going to even know how fast this shit going to come. I said, because I'm going to knock your fucking kneecaps out and get you on my level first. And then I'm going to go work on your ass. And then I see with them, they don't understand the shit. But it was a lot more mentality because they don't have, boys don't talk to each other like that. But you fucking with a grown ass man, he gonna tell you what it is, and if you gonna deal with it, you gonna deal with it. I might take a L that day,
Yeah.
but motherfucker, you gonna know your ass was in the scrap for sure. So it's like once they get the respect, and that's what thing it is, man. Sometimes people don't just give you respect; you gotta take it.
Yeah.
And say, "Hey, you gonna respect me today. It may not be how the way you thought respect gonna come, but I'm gonna teach you how to respect me if you don't know how to do it."
Yeah, I agree with you.
But yeah, man.
You definitely do. Yeah, sometimes these youngsters, man, they just, and again, like I say, and I don't know if that's a product of just too much free range or not enough, hands-on parental guidance, or what their parents are letting them do and letting them get away with. And I've seen a lot of people who just, they allow their children to feel like they're on par with, so they feel like they're on par with their parents, and they go, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy. They feel like they can talk to anybody like that. It might not be your mama or your daddy, but I'm gonna do what they ain't done, they should have done, and that's regulates your motherfucking ass. I'm not, gonna be with the tomfoolery. I'm not gonna be with all the shenanigans, like you said, you have to take some respect. You definitely gonna have to take some respect from time to time.
Even my son, man, I have to. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a female thing or what, but my son used to hit his mom like in the face and shit, and that shit would piss me off.
Yeah.
And she just letting him and laughing with the shit. I said, no, you can't let him hit you in your fucking face. That don't make no sense. I said, because when you get older, that shit ain't gonna be cute, is it?
Yeah.
Because shit gonna hurt a little bit more. And you gotta understand that you got boundaries. And that's what it is, man. They don't teach kids where the boundaries are. Like you were saying.
Yeah. You still there? I don't know if you cut out on me. Did I cut out? Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if it cut
Hello?
out. Yeah, okay. You still there? Yeah, it cut out after you said you were talking about boundaries.
Yeah. Well, kids don't know where their boundaries. That's why I say I used to end up tasting my own blood. When I got into conversations I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
Just because I heard shit and I'm repeating shit, and that's what kids are, man. They gonna parrot.
Exactly.
They gonna parrot shit. I'm talking about. How you say, "Oh, mama, you lying. You didn't say that. You had said this." And then, boy, shut the fuck up. Next thing you know, you bleeding in the mouth.
Yeah.
You going in the room and shit. You like, man, this ain't my fault. You a liar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I wasn't supposed to be in their fucking conversation. And kids now, they come in. I hear kids and watch kids. They be telling their parents what to do and how they don't do, and they gonna tell somebody else. They like threatening to call CPS on the motherfucker. It's like.
Man, I remember, I tried that shit one time jokingly. She said, yeah, go ahead and do that shit, because I'm going to be beating your ass when they arrive. I was like, well, damn, I guess I'm not going to make that phone call then. 'Cause yeah, go ahead, call the people. I'm gonna be beating your ass when they come. I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna wait till next time. I ain't gonna, but shit, yeah.
My mom must have read out the same book. She told me the same shit. She said, you can call it if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whoop your ass here, and I'm gonna wait till again. I'm gonna give them a show too, and whoop your ass in front of them, and damn to do something.
Yeah, they wasn't playing that shit, babe. So, and that's what I say. They knew how to regulate back then. And I think part of it too. What you said about it, how you said about your son's mom letting the son hit her in the face. It makes me think about some of these things. I don't know if you remember a couple of years back. It was like a little trending video about the little nigga talking about I'm daddy, nigga, I'm grown, little bitty nigga still in diapers.
With the diaper.
Yeah,
with the nigga with the diaper.
Yeah, and and they laughing and funny, they encouraging that shit, but they not really realize what they really instilling in that child. I wouldn't be surprised that nigga wilding out right now, and can't control it because they allowed all that behavior, then it went viral, and they probably thought it was cute and funny and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's a bunch of those kids cussing, and I mean. You ain't gonna stop a kid from cussing, but when it comes to a certain age, certain words should be coming out their mouth, man. They don't know what the hell that shit mean that they going. They getting a response from your ass, and they think that's what they supposed to do.
Yeah, and that's why I say I try to be cautious about, using profane language, especially, around the kids and stuff like that. I try to switch it up or swap it up because, again, they say you doing it, well, it's okay for you to do it. Why ain't it okay for me to do it? And I know, it would be one way at home, but a little nigga get to school, nigga saying all kind of shit. But you come back home, you ain't gonna use certain words, but shit, you amongst your peers at school, shit, I'm saying all kind of shit. Come back home, no, ma'am, I would never do that. No way. You know what I'm saying? You play them roles.
For sure.
Yeah. That's been anything else you want to add to that, AB?
Nah, man, I wanted to give a small shout out to Roman again. Stay up, man. Don't I know you ain't in this fucking right now. You probably sleep right now. But no, man. Stay growing. Stay being curious and thirsting for knowledge. But that's for me. That's how I kept growing my damn self, man. You ain't gonna never stop growing as long as you keep thirsting for knowledge.
I agree. Yeah, man. Shout out.
Oh, I'm gonna send you a link, man, because what I did, I was, I put it on live on my own, but you probably get a better visual by checking out the entire group that was talking. So I'll send the link in that Facebook.
Okay, but yeah, just post it in the DM, man. You feel free to share that, man.
All right, bet.
All right, appreciate it, AB, man. Here we go. All right, man. Shout out to AB. Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't use profanity. It's just not something I don't use profane language. I don't condone it. It's not appropriate. Well, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this evening? Apologize for y'all's ears.
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's on your mind, man?
All right, man. I know we came in. I've seen this topic about respecting the elders and ancestors, but really with me and just like talking about me, really with me and my parents, it's like I was really a kid that was just like, well, I got into a little bit of trouble, not really like a lot. So really, dude used to get beatings when he was a kid, but until it was like 11 to 12 years old, because that's when I pretty much grown to be quote unquote bigger and stronger than my parents, to the point where it was just like, you know what, if you act up, we'll pretty much just kick you out and stuff like that. And I guess my dad, my mom, they went through an adjustment period because I'm guessing since my parents were in Africa, their upbringing was, let's be honest, way stricter than my upbringing would ever think about being. And my dad always said all the time, but he said he really didn't understand it when he was a kid growing up, but he actually appreciated it now because it molded him to the man that he is today. Same thing with my mom as well. Same thing with me and all the rest of my family as well. And one thing that they taught me that I have to know how to do is to basically try to treat people with respect even when they don't do the same back to me. And but really just treat people the right way, honestly. That's what I try to do at all times. Even with argument that well, it wasn't really an argument, but conversation me and my dad had, and I was not cussing like at my dad, but cussing about the situation, caused people, motherfuckers and shit like that. It's really just cussing them out, calling them out their names, talking about wish they go to hell and all that other shit. Because these people have stole thousands of dollars away from me and still doing it. That's why Fast Forward emailed me today. They said it went to higher up, and they said they're gonna review it for another 30 days to find out what's really going on, because it's real serious business right now. So going on with that, I told him wish they died and stuff, and he was just like, he put it in all caps, which he never did this. My dad's never really texted. Put all X, never talk to me like that ever again, or I'm not gonna go into the rest of it. And I was just like, whoa, that's what really got to him. So me, I I have respect for my parents really, because at first I get mad, try to challenge them, try to say stuff, not really call them out their name because I have respect for them, stuff like that. But um, later on, I was really trying to see what they're coming from. And I just want to ask you a question. And you'll probably say no, but I'm just gonna put it out there. Have you ever got to a point where you actually wanted to fight your parents for any reason?
No,
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 not at all, right?
no. I would say, and I guess this is the a caveat. No, because like I say, as after about 11, it was me and my mom, so there was no reason I wanted to fight my mom. That would be
Okay,
crazy.
okay.
But from some of the things that happened at a younger age, but there was definitely not too much I could have done. I did have beef with my dad for a bit, and it's probably best that they separated when they did, and I just kind of leave it like that.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna get. Yeah, I don't want you to get all deep into it. But the reason why I said this is because I know you probably heard me say this earlier in the show, but how my roommate actually literally fought his dad because his parents had cheated on him, and I even talked to my parents about that. I was just like, even if that would have happened, it's like I almost have so much respect for that. I'll be mad, but not to the point I'll literally fight my dad and they, I get charges pressed on me, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm not, I know hypothetically, but if that situation ever happened to you, would you ever get mad to the point where you actually fight your dad for doing something like that,
I mean, shit,
or
we,
it's
we
just me?
too old for all that now for that type of situation. I mean, shit, you gotta understand. There's just things that that men do that's not necessarily justified. It's not necessarily right, but you gotta understand. I mean, that's just a conversation you gotta sit down and have. You can't be so blinded. I think that just but this y'all a new breed, so y'all look at things a little bit differently. And I'm not saying it's always for the best, but as you grow and you become a man, there's mistakes that men make. Sometimes it's not always for the best, but if he's doing things, right in other areas, then you got to sit down and have that conversation, man to man. You handle that a different way. Trying to fight him and do all that, that's foolishness.
Oh yeah, man, cause it was maintain on the windshield and shit. Yeah, but I ain't gonna get on it. But that you know, yeah, cause I never heard. Cause usually when I heard my roommate say shit like that, I was like, cause niggas be playing and shit. I was like, then when I seen his brother come in, and I never seen his mom again. Then I seen the papers. I was just like, damn, this shit. I never really, but like, yeah, that's just my take on me. And I try to listen as much as I can and try to learn as much as I can from everybody else. Because one thing my parents always tell me is like how I treat them is if I have kids, they're gonna treat me 10 times the same exact way I treat them.
Mm-hmm.
Better or worse, that depends on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, they say that your children are a product of your early behavior. So I don't know how true that actually is, but that is a thing.
Well, I mean, if you believe that everything you do in life comes back, then that's true. I mean, because everybody else got their beliefs, but I believe like everything you do good in life, good or bad, comes back, to you, good consequence or bad. So,
Mm-hmm. Maybe so. I have maybe a slightly different perspective on that, but that's a whole different conversation. It might be something we could talk about. Maybe tomorrow, some later on this week, we might put one of those in the den. That is karma and how we approach it. That'll be a good conversation.
All right, man, but I'll let someone else talk. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
All right, Josh, man. Appreciate your call, man.
All right, man.
All right. Let's see. Now, we've reached the 2-hour mark. Now, I saw someone else was trying to call, and I'll give him a chance to call back in because I think they've tried to call in a couple of times, so I'll try to, to honor that. But after that, we'll probably get ready to wind it down. I'm trying to debate because I got little energies. I'm trying to debate if I should go to the mixer this evening. I know I said I wasn't going to give y'all one, but I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the mixer this evening or if we should extend the den a little bit. I gotta decide on that. But give it a few more minutes. I say we'll get a den at least about maybe 5-10 more minutes. We'll see. Yeah, because I gotta get back on the main mission. I still ain't been well, we'll see. Say the mixer, enjoy myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? What? You ain't even pimping the right product. I can't listen to you. We gotta see. But yeah, man, fighting your parents, that's a no-go. You don't want to do that. You want to leave that be. I think that's a level you got to leave it, because I think ultimately, depending on the situation, you will have regrets about that in the long term, unless your family just, abusive and just, on some devil's rejects type evil shit, then that's different. Yeah, we was talking about OTAs today. We just we talked about that and talked about some other things, and a little bit here, a little bit there. Red Dead 2 takes a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. 'Cause I know I got the physical copy, and it took a second to install, and then even after that, I had to I think it was like an update. I think the update was like 40 gigs or something. It was something crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a bet, AB, man. Appreciate you following through, man. So, we'll see. But, it's worth it. I recommend it to you. The story alone is great. I don't know about the online. I ain't been fucking with the online like that. Say you just fight your mom. Rashida, where you think you going? You ain't going nowhere. Where you think you going, Rashida? You in here. Bet that Mac 11. You know what I'm saying? I already, man. Hey, good to see you, man. I see you've been doing some things. I've been peeping on Twitter. I've been catching a couple of little tweets, and I'm curious about. I saw you say, you had slimmed up. I'd be interested in hearing how you went through that process. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Rob, man. Give that man some love. Show that man some love. If you're on the Twitters, you know what I'm saying? Same name, I do believe. Make sure. And let me know, man. Let me know where I can check out some of your music. How can I get a hold of some of your music too, man? Because I definitely like to hear what you're working with, man. Because like I say, you drop some insightful stuff. And I definitely like to hear what you're working with. Okay. I'm trying to wait to see. I saw someone calling in, looked like a familiar number, but I'll give it a oh man, I see you, Just Sarah. What's the motherfucking deal, Just Sarah? I ain't shot you when you came in. Yeah, look like I might see everybody sliding out. You know what I'm saying? I might have to go to the mixer. I might have to mix it up, see what's going down, talk some shit on the mixer. You know. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Yeah, I had to get in on that grandma subject.
What's on your mind?
I think we giving these kids a little too much leeway, and then when we wonder on and along the way in society how you get to a point where you're saying, why these kids acting like this here, that leniency, that leeway that we didn't put into this here fabric of our moral thinking. You know what I'm saying? And somebody said, I just know that you have to earn respect. You can't demand respect. You can't make nobody respect you. It's an earned factor. And with these kids, I mean, certain things is established law from birth. You in my house. I take care of you. You can't chest up on me. You can always be open. You can always have an opinion. I'm gonna leave a ground where you can always come to me, feel comfortable staying beside me. But the way these kids are acting towards the adults, uh, and one of the callers was saying something on the order of like they can look up anything and find out anything. See, that's where we losing it. I think if we grab hold on these kids and set a firm foundation, you know what I'm saying, especially with a child, saying a child's place mentality, like you were saying, the kid, your kid answered in place of the adult saying something, no, you stay in the child's place at all times. You know what I'm saying? You don't allow a child to step outside their zone. You correct them, and you make it known. You don't give no leniency because of the day. Today's kids, and that's what's wrong there. That's why they go AWOL. That's why they doing it like they doing it. Because it's too leniency. You have to set, I feel, strict rules and guidelines. Otherwise, it's gonna go astray. It's gonna go all weary. You know what I'm saying? There's a path that you take toward anything. That's my book. I feel like we just in this Google shit where you can go to Google and Google telling you this and that and the third, but you in the house with grandma. How the hell Google away what grandma said? Grandma comes from a line of ancestry, history, your family makeup, your thoughts and your thinking, how your family comes in together. Google can't teach you that. Google give you somebody's outline version of something. You can get a book on how to do this with a baby, and they done did 100. They done tested 101 babies. 100 babies. When they get to that 101 baby, that baby's gonna show them something new. So I don't think going to the books and guidelines. I think the household and setting, the parent, knowing the child, being with the child, your moral values, your way of doing things is where your children will fall in line, setting. And the more that we sit on to go look and do it in the outlook of society and how they should be doing it, a bunch of us going to fail. Like, I really believe a bunch of us going to fail. How are we going to allow society to navigate what's going on in our house? We gonna be lost for sure. I don't believe we can make it that way. Society, no. They got crazy people in society, right?
A lot of
them. A president is a leader, and look at him. So, so his setup and his makeup of how things should be run, make America great again, if that's the outlook we gonna take on it, we in a bunch of trouble. That's why I think a lot of people depend on where the next person do it, how society say it should go. When you have a household, you have a family that you should come from in your own way. You know what I'm saying? I think when God sent them off into the east and on the west, and He said, "Go, be fruitful and multiply." Nobody gave them a set of guidelines and rules. They brought up a way, all the way into a religious aspect of how to be, how to comprehend, what to do, what is expected, all in the family. You can't set guidelines based off of what everybody else thinks, because if so, we're going to be in a bunch of trouble. Because they say your baby could be gay now. It's cool for your little boy to be running around in a dress if that's what he expressing, he feeling. I remember back in the day when the little boy went to go get the baby doll. You know what I'm saying? Grandma, pause. Hold on.
Yeah.
You know, where you going? Oh no, baby, you're not finna play with that. And guess what? Sometimes them little boys, all he wanted to do was tie that damn dog to the damn chair and hold that hold a hostage. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on that never, but you implicate things of what others feel is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? And you mean that's why your little boy be running around and dressing, holding that baby dog for real. He like pink now, girl. You brought him home in blue for a reason. And now your baby like pink. Don't tell me you agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is society saying it's a cool thing right now.
Yeah.
And we got, I mean, in respecting our elders, acknowledging our ancestors, there's a sound foundation that has to be set and abided by and gone by. I ain't finna get no kid no anything. Your kid can't play with me. I don't allow mine to play with me. Why would I allow yours to play with me? Because you're not doing what you supposed to be doing in your household and setting me. So if your kid disrespect me, I'm going to bat your kid in the mouth. I'm going to knock your kid teeth out of their mouth. And I'm going to send them for you so I can whoop your ass because you should have taught them better in the first place. So, yeah, I'm going to look for you. I want you to come to me. I'm going to make them go get you for me. This crazy how society is pulling off these stuff here and how they have these rules guidelines. They took that belt away from that parent, give that child a phone and say, here, this is the 3 little numbers you call in case your mama wants.
What?
If your mama decides she want to beat your ass, you call these 3 little numbers right here. You see these numbers right here? Yeah, we got her. No, and you know what I tell a kid in front of the policeman because I done had this happen. Hey, look, if you got a problem with where I'm dealing in here, go on and take them now. You hear me? And if it was a matter of the fact that where I'm going to go to here, guess what? I'm going to still beat you home. You hear me? They're not going to leave you here in the household. So, hey, either way it go, you're going to lose in this matter. You're not going to tell me, I wish a policeman would come to my home and tell me how to run mine. You want them? Here they go. Take them. Because if they're not going to listen to hear to me, they don't need to be here anyway.
Right. I mean, that's straight up. For real. So I can't look here. I can't be mad at that. And that's funny what you said though about how you know the shit that we allow. And you have to have your own household standards because society is deteriorating around us, and we see that shit, you know, on a daily basis. And you know, when people are saying, "Oh, it's okay and it's acceptable," and you know, because they don't want to feel some particular way, or they don't want people to accuse them of being some type of phobic or some type of hater or some type of man. Fuck all that, man.
And another time, that phobic and then what you call them, that don't even be the aspect. I'm starting to see a lot of people in today's society. You know, they go for this approval code. They put in this approval code so they bullshit can be accepted as well. I'll take your bull crap, so you will take my bull crap. Well, when you get ready to say something about my bull crap, I can say something about your bull crap. Never really in agreement with it, but we're gonna allow it, and we're gonna stand by it and even applaud it because this is what we want from you in return. We want you to accept all that we know is wrong. You know, they got some people. They think kids. I live around some females that think little kids doing booty is funny. That's how I'm gonna put it. They doing booty. You think that's funny? You don't think there's a time to sit your kid down and dress, find out where their mind frame is on this subject, where they think it from, what if they've been exposed to, where is this coming from with them? You know, why have they taken on this deal? Yes, you open the door, you can never close that door on a kid. But a kid should also know to remain a kid. If you accept that bull crap, that disrespect, and today's kids, they don't really see it like that. In my house, you're going to see it like I see it, or you ain't going to see it at all. And that's just the bottom line to it. I can't put no music down on a child. One, you ain't paying damn bill in here. You know, I'm supposed to be guiding you and teaching you along the way. I'm stopping and pause to see what you're saying about it. You're going to go about it. You're fun, young, immature. You haven't been through, don't know the repercussions. I'm going to sit down and adhere to your way of doing, because that's more into society fitting to, I don't uphold children. I don't play with children. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow a child to step outside of children. I love children. I take care of children. I'm there for children all the time. My job is surrounded by young teenagers. I'm considered the mean lady. Yeah, I am, and I will be until the end of day. But ask any one of them if they know that I love them, and they'll tell you, yes, she loves us. They know I will not allow no harm to come to them. They know I'm gonna protect them to the end. But I'm not gonna play with you, and I'm not gonna never stop. I'm not gonna never pause at one time to make you feel so ever so comfortable, like we equal.
Yeah.
We never equal. Because the moment I start playing this equal role, you gonna feel like you're as grown as me.
Exactly.
You can sit down and talk to me, tell me, do this kind of, and hold this kind of conversation. I don't condone when I know a child is wrong. Like you were saying about that mean and shit with these people allowing these kids to cuss and oh, that's so funny. And I'm sitting there turning blue in the face because I know goddamn well at my age, my grandma say, I got something that'll go around the corner with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to try to get the hell on out the way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want no ass whooping. I had a grandpa that he didn't want me to get no ass whooping. Like he used to say, he didn't want nobody to disturb a hair on my head. But guess what? Grandma saying, I'm going to tear that ass up when she ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing. You hear me? So I just had to go outside and wait to grandpa, she tried to send one of my little uncles to come get me and bring me inside so she could whoop my ass. I tear the ass up. She said, leave her alone, leave her there. She gonna come up in here, show this right when my daddy, when that damn Bo Brothers truck around that corner, that's when I'm coming home. Yeah, 'cause I ain't getting no whooping. I pop that damn door open when I know I did something, she called herself whooping my ass. But as far as grandma and grandpa, there you go. Grandma was fine holding hand. Grandma was a chastiser. Grandpa didn't chastise the girls. Grandma chastised the girls. Grandpa might not have worn my ass whooped. But when necessary, grandma was gonna put that down. Ain't no goddamn thing trying to see it her way. The rules have been explained. It's been laid out and mapped out. As a child, you follow through. When you want all this here to be able to do it as you so please, that's when you look at your own goddamn house and you put in your own rules and you set your own boundaries and what you're willing to do and not do and what you want to go on and what's going to go on. And when you get yours, if you got any kind of decency to you, you ain't gonna want no child disrespecting you. Like you said, later on, that child probably the weirdest, the craziest, retarded child right now, cussing all them out, calling them all out their name. The caller said something about the kid hitting, his girlfriend, the child is hitting the child. Yeah, you want to stop that now? That ain't cute. That ain't cool. Yeah, put a pause on there. I totally agree with him on that. Because then you like they're saying, they letting them do it. This school is acceptable. I've been slapping shit out of mine. Since Leo, you heard me? I've been patting up.
No.
That's why I'm going to go across in their mind. You been fucking around. These damn children, they shouldn't kill their parents' heads. You know why? Because they've been set to believe that it's okay, and this is here, and I deserve this. Yes, I deserve this so much to the point where they get hostile and ignorant.
Yeah.
To the point they think this is acceptable. So when you try to put a foot down, then you try to be the parent. This is where they becoming so enraged at because you've allowed so much along the way, and then here come, oh now you want to be my damn parent. Oh now you want to have rules. Oh now there's regulations, there's stipulations, or there's a punishment that comes along with this here. You know what I'm saying? And that's where these children get clicked out and so enraged at. Oh, now you denying me? Oh, I can't be done. I can't do it like I want to do it no more. And then that's why you find a bunch of dead whites, mostly, and that kill them, their parents. When you deny them, if you've allowed them along the way so much, no, I'm not gonna ever see you shut a child down. I just want to share this one thing with the whole chat. A lot of times, like when we saying we need to talk to our kids, I think we've really gotten away from dinner time. I think that is the most excellent place to have. How's your day? What went on today? Get time to talk, open up, sitting at the table. Like a lot of families, I see they one person's eating in the living room, somebody's in the kitchen, the other person, they might be in their room eating, you know what I'm saying, in front of the TV and stuff. I think that kitchen table, that dining room table, that table, this meal over a meal, sitting down, there's a great time for family time. There's a great time to get out. Hey, what's going on throughout your day? Things you may have gone, a good time to start discussing. We sitting down, we eating, and people getting happy around food time and eating, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'll be an excellent time. If you're ever looking for a moment to start addressing some stuff, I think right around dinner time ought to just get it in there. It'll be a great proposition. And yes, I work with teenagers. down to the ground. This is my first segment in my life career doing this type of work where I work with actually the juveniles. I've always tried to stay away from them because I felt like I have the attitude of your child can't play with me. And these kids, these teenagers today are in a level of, they're so disrespectful. They don't have a clue. They don't have a value on life. I can't, hey, if I got this little boy, he cursing his mom out, what you think he going to do me? I'm not going to be able to get far with him. And that's why I used to think. So I always stuck with the elderly or the babies. Now I'm working with these kids. It took a little moment to turn over. Had a couple minutes to find out my background. Or, my mama, yeah, I whipped your auntie ass one time. Or you going to get your mama. Well, go ahead and get your mama. Or you don't want to see my mama. My mama got hands. Ooh, she better have some coming this your way. If you love your mama, you ain't going to get her from me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get past that, you know what I'm saying? And they know now, hey, that lady is not to be played with. She gonna love us and she gonna do everything she can. We can go to her, hey, ask her, we can go to her and talk to her, but she is not to be played with. I think I have a better standing than most of the staff that's in there with me because the other staff are here they play along with them, and that's why your damn phone missing out because you keep allowing these children to play and sit around and hold conversation with you when you get up, and then when your person took your goddamn phone. But see, that's what you get for sitting down with them as kids, you know what I'm saying? So when they be looking at me, I be looking at them like, yeah, I know just what the hell I be saying because, see, ain't nobody gonna have an opportunity to get my phone because I don't sit in that round with them. I don't sit so close and be so comfortable with them. So this is what I'm leaving down. I'm leaving around. They got access to. The kids are supposed to be over there. This is supposed to be the council's area here. But you inviting them into this your workspace here, and then you see things are starting to mention. Now you got a problem with them, or you gonna tell them they can't sit in there with you now? They've been doing it the whole goddamn time.
All right, Miss Obed, I got a question.
Yes.
Somebody in the chat, and I think that you could explain it a little bit better for them than me. Asked if you could explain what doing booty is.
It's that breed of children, they go up in there with their little kiss cats, get a little bit, they're doing booty and the children, they dry humping. How about that? Yeah. Dry humping.
There you go. Okay. I want them to hear it from your mouth so they can understand. They don't think I'm misconstruing anything. But man, I agree with you.
Be rolling on each other, rolling and kissing.
Doing too much, But I agree with you. 100%. Like it's separating.
Look, I had some girlfriends tell me that her little niece and one of the neighbor's children, these two little girls now. I'm talking about 5 and 6-year-old little girls.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they were in the closet. Supposed to been 69. They were 69. As I started to talk to her and like suggesting, like, you need to, find out what's going on. Hey, they just insisted on that. Oh, like, y'all be cursing and y'all be talking and shit. Hold on. Whoa. Because see, look, hey, like I want a child to respect me. I'm also going to respect a child. I wouldn't dare stand over a child and see I'm a smoker. I'm not going to smoke over nobody's child. Hey, I don't care what the fuck you doing. I'm not never cool with a kid to the point where I'm a smoking in the presence of them, sitting in the same room with them. I'm not gonna never get comfortable like that. But I have female friends that are absolutely cool. I'm the one that's looked at like, girl, what's wrong with you? No, because I'm not only disrespecting myself here, I'm disrespecting a child. Why would I do that? And people I was like, girl, look, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody had no conversation around no child to where, let's say, like might have been saying some shit like, he ate me. He ate me, he ate me out. How the fuck does that make two little girls go in a closet, position themselves head to toe? You know what I'm saying? And doing this here on each other. They got the clothes down and then they in this midst of this, hey, these little girls. And the bitch, before you address and find the root of this problem, you sitting there talking about, they probably heard y'all saying some shit like that. Shit, bitch. Not me. Ain't no conversation I would dare even think to have around no child, you know what I'm saying? In that type of setting, that's one. And then even if that was the kind of conversation, How does that describe? One leg this way, one leg that way. We take our clothes off. You put your mouth on my jeans. I put my mouth. Well, bitch, what?
No, that's some stuff they done stumbled across and on some of that internet shit or something that being unsupervised, they done stumbled across some shit. Man, you'd be surprised some of the shit that was going on. I know even on that little kids YouTube that was happening. You know what I'm saying? And that it was some wild stuff happening, and then they was talking about
Yeah, some shit got past me too. Whatever they was talking about, they was like telling the children to kill themselves or something.
yeah, I mean it was a bunch of it was
All
anything that you
parents
could
said, yeah,
imagine.
that shit got past me. And see, I do parental blocks, and all the email addresses are made through me. I'm gonna put your age bracket, and then I'm gonna be the controlling adult, the advising adult, the authorizing adult onto this email address. So anything that comes up and this clicks up and comes to this email, you know what I'm saying, that's being done with this device here, I'm gonna get it. That's a notification to me. That's not a notification to this child. That's a notification to me. I'm gonna be fully aware of what this child is gonna do. Why would you even want your child? Why you want your child on Instagram? Why you want your baby? I don't know.
People, that's
Why
what I
you
say.
want your
Like,
baby on Instagram? You really let your baby on Instagram? Your baby got a Facebook? For real?
yeah,
Why?
giving people access to these kids,
There's
man.
too much open access. It's like you put a target on your kid's back.
Yeah,
And the pedophiles, they notice
yeah,
everything,
all on it.
especially in the name of vulnerability.
Yeah, they own that shit, and that's the wild shit about it, cause it's like they was talking about that shit. I know they had a bunch of pedophiles on some of these little kids' YouTube. Like I say, cause the little one, she be asking, she know I do YouTube, and she's like, oh, I want to do it, and I have to sit down and time and explain. Well, there's a reason that you're not on YouTube, that you're not gonna do this, even though you may see the kids. One, because what would you ask? What would you do if you were on YouTube? What was it that you would bring, to the platform? And she just want to be silly, and I'll say, nah, that's not what's gonna happen, because you're not gonna make a fool out of yourself if you don't really have a real skill set, or you're not trying to do something valuable. Because once you do all that foolish stuff, you're gonna want to do more foolish stuff when that attention goes away. If you're not doing anything that nobody else can do, that attention goes away quick. And one is what I want you on there because of the people. She just see likes and stuff like that. She think that that's what it's all about. I'm like, it's not about that, but it's about you being able to provide something of benefit. Because like I said, I'm not gonna have you on here clowning and trying to do pranks or just goofy stuff. Because when people stop watching that, then you're gonna start getting desperate to do more off the wall shit just because that attention is going away. And so we just have little talks about different stuff, and we talk to maybe when she gets older, develops a quality skill, and then you can say, okay, if you can teach or do something like that. But I'm definitely gonna be overseeing all of that if that does happen. But I'm just not with the social media. She don't have no kind of nothing like that. She got a little iPad, and I make sure I got all the access to that, and it's only got access to some of the little goofy games, and I check out all the games. As far as watching TV, she got to check in and tell us what she's watching. Why are you watching this? What about this has got your attention? Why are you, attracted to this certain show or whatever else it is? Hey, you got, after each show, you got to give me a little synopsis of what happened. Like, you got to be able to have reasons behind the shit that you're doing. Not to just be blindly doing shit just because. Like, cause I see so many kids get caught up in that shit. Cause it was one time, like I said, before I found out about the little kids YouTube, she was watching some little baby doll shit, and it was just some weird shit, like the doll was shitting chocolate or whatever it was. I'm like, nah, we're not gonna do this. That's not gonna shake. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain shit we're just not gonna do.
Hold on.
Yeah.
The dog was doing away.
They had the doll, like somebody, making, they take the dolls and do their own little shows. The doll, they was supposed to be like changing the baby doll, but it was like a bunch of, like, the doll that shit itself or whatever, but it was like chocolate or whatever it was. But they, just doing some off the wall shit. I'm like, nah, this shit ain't gonna shake. I'm not with that shit, And so,
They're going too far, man.
Yeah, that's some of the light shit. Like I said, they was taking Disney characters and having them in all kind of precarious positions, and so making it seem like, oh, this is a little Disney cartoon. So parents see Disney, they not thinking nothing about it, not realizing what these characters are really doing. They kissing on each other, and they doing little lesbian stuff and all kind of off the wall shit. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the little girls you was talking about, if they is allowed to be kind of free ranging on YouTube and doing all that. I wouldn't be surprised they seen that type of shit there, because there's a lot of crazy shit going on, man.
Some of y'all heard of this damn book. It's a kid book. It's actually like a pre-K type book. It's in that age bracket. It's My Blue Ball, if I'm not mistaken. and throughout this damn book, I mean, the read of this book is homosexual, putting the ball in my mouth, playing with the balls, my balls hurt, blue balls. I mean, an adult reading this book would look up and be red faced, be like, "Oh shit, you hear what they saying?" Yeah, it's a popular book, and they're really trying to pull that book off the shelf.
Yeah, we need to.
But it's my blue ball, and if you're just thinking blue ball,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that alone can set off a little.
Yeah, that ain't what it is, and that's why I say what my thing is. For them to always holler about, oh, this is natural, this is what it is. This is well. Why you got to do so much? Indoctrination. Why you got to put all this stuff?
Because there's never a satisfaction until we got you where we want you.
Yeah.
If we get you all to play this game, we all go down. Satan's intent is to take us all, not just take a few.
Yeah.
He wants us all, and so whatever can bring us into that corner on that level, that's where we going.
That's wild. That's some wild shit, man. But that's the world we live in, man. Protect the kids. You gotta be, you gotta be diligent because they definitely diligent in trying to get to the kids. So you gotta be on top of that. But man, Miss Soulbet, I can't disagree with nothing you said. I can't disagree with nothing
I'm
you
one of
said.
them people. I just need a nice house in the woods. Like, give me somewhere in the woods, as long as we can Wi-Fi my music in. Just give me my music, and I'd rather just go on with my life. Just bye, y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead on this. I do too much of serious. I be really in my mind. I'm really starting to separate myself. I mean, I'm gonna contribute on a positive aspect, but overall, if I could just go get me a nice house out in the country, a nice little piece of land,
Yeah, I mean that's what
build me a tree house over there, so I can see you suckers when y'all come in and take the clear shot that I need from my tree house to hit y'all at the road before y'all even start coming in down the road toward my house. I'm good, man. Just, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you on
Just,
that, man.
I'm just because I'm sick, serious. Like, it's like the things that is so acceptable in society. You know what I'm saying? As a grown ass goddamn woman with a child of my own, you hear me, and give me grandchildren. Look, let me tell you something. Look, there's nothing in the world that's gonna make me disrespect an elder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had elderly people kind of tell me some off the wall shit. You know what I'm saying? I can actually take it from them now. Somebody else might be knocking them out. No teeth going down your throat, there, girl. But I have a compassion for them. I have understanding. I know that I gotta get to where they are. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pray and hope that I make it to their age. You know what I'm saying? The way we set this pace with our elders, and see, this where we losing our generation. This where we losing our moral fabric. Grandma don't even have no say so no more.
No.
Grandma don't even have no say so no more. We don't respect her. We think that she got taught to niggerize. See, that's the way the white man wanted her to learn. Right there. So grandma done been put on the back pedal, on the back burner on the one. She was taught wrong. She ain't know. And Google has taught me so much. That's why I put in the comments, Google over grandma. We live in a Google over grandma society.
Yeah.
And if grandma can't pass down the fabric of this family, if grandma can't take and hand off where this family came from, our heritage, our culture, our way of being, the things that we did, then when you go to talking in a pride sense of beat, you can't be on that level. You just diminish grandma to the fullest because Google say she got taught the white man way. She got a slave mind, mentality. Grandma is what held the family together, the fabric. You know what I'm saying? Grandpa might have went out the wall. You know what I'm saying? Grandma held the fabric of the family. There's the old storytelling. You sitting down on my knee, on the porch at her footstool. At her foot. She's telling you the ways of old. How her mother was, her grandmother, and passing on family history. Generations of matter, the essence of actually who you are, your makeup, your DNA, your structure, your way of thinking. Because if your people had this mindset, you may go off into the world and become aware of other things and gather and work from a different angle. But it always has a foundation that grandma laid for you. And we not respecting that. We don't see our elders like that bitch who pushed that old man. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was a purple goddamn man from Mars. Bitch, you pushed that old man off that bus, you ought to be a dirty shame. Your heart ought to be whooping you inside and out. You ain't gonna have no fucking luck. And if you ever wondering why you're struggling so fucking hard, you ought to look back at some of the fucking things you do, and then ask yourself why you gonna do it again.
Boy, that shit that was
Because
fucked
some
up.
of these people, man, she was so wrong for that, Lord Jesus. Man, come on here. Even with the transgender, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't accept that. I think that's bullshit. But to kill him, you know what I'm saying? To even beat him like they did at that point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to acknowledge no female because my brain don't work like that. Reality is reality. And you're not going to make me go to the, that's a man. That's not no fucking girl. But to beat him on that level, I don't care about a car accident or what, man. We got to stop. But see, we don't have a level of respect. And if we come from a land of respect, where we know an aspect of this is what we were raised off, this is our character, this is our MO, this is how we act. The people, a lot of people have really a big problem with saying, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I was raised on it. It comes from me with ease. I address it to each and all. Yeah, you might be the same age as me. You might even be younger than me. If you're in a position of authority and, just out of my respect, this is how I decided to fuck the girl at Walmart behind the goddamn high food side. Hey, give me $3, what you call it? She said, oh, what you said? I said, ma'am. And she was like, ma'am, girl. That's me reacting to you, and that's my respectable manner. I know I got you. You know what I'm saying? You my damn son age. I know I got you. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it's a respect thing, baby. And especially you handling my motherfucking food. I don't know what you might do on the other side.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Let me respect this bitch.
Right. Now look. When I, you know what I'm saying? When when it comes with the food, I agree. Now look, once I got my food, I might talk about your ass if I don't plan on, coming back through this shit.
You didn't answer. Just answer. Don't you do it before you get your food. So how you feel about them Uber Eats people and these people delivering food to them?
Man,
I be on YouTube a lot.
Man, I'm hearing people be fucking eating the food and shit.
Yeah, the man said he don't have to cook. He don't cook dinner. He don't buy lunch. He saves so much in a month's time on groceries because he take a little bit from every delivery. So this nigga eating your nuggets, bitch. You only got 9 nuggets in it. You done ate your nuggets, bitch. I cut up so bad.
I'd have to play
People is nasty. Like if I go into a restaurant and I'm looking at the manager, you can down there tell how the restaurant was rolling, how it's going, what's going on here, what's acceptable, what's not. Just look at the appearance of the manager. And the more raggedy his big fat old ass is sitting up there, you know what I'm saying, looking to the cheesy like he wiped his hand on everything. You know what I'm saying? From head to toe, he covered. Is you coming out of the bathroom? Didn't he just come from the bathroom? He finna go drop y'all chicken, bitch. Y'all can eat here. I'm not eating here.
That grease don't burn everything, man. That grease ain't gonna burn everything. Shit.
Y'all, you ain't paying attention to he just came from that way. And what's right there? What's right there? That's just bathrooms, right? And they look, okay, exactly. He just came from the bathroom, bitch. There was a check to clean up in that motherfucker or to use it. And bitch, you still got the powder stuff on his face from battling the chicken, bitch. And look, he going back over there to your fucking chicken. You want it? I'll tell you what, this not the stuff for me. This not the one I'm gonna eat from. I'm looking at the fucking manager.
Well, you keep it like this.
I'm looking at the manager. You just look at your manager right there. Look at your manager, bitch. Your manager. If she don't have your manager a female and her fucking hair all over her head, she look like she just put a cap on. You know what I'm saying? Her clothes wrinkled. You really want to eat from her? Come on, for real.
Yeah, you want somebody to take pride in it.
Look at it. There's a pride in her. They ain't changed that grease in there for 16 years now. They could put that in the diesel truck. That bitch will go all the way to Texas. No, you don't want to fuck with her. You don't even have her. You got to look at people how they carry themselves. If people don't have a respect for others, you got to watch them. If they don't hold no respect for others, the elders, you know what I'm saying? If them people are not aware, this is a part of me, and they're at this level. This is a part of our society because I think we're so horrible on how we treat our elderly in this society that we cater to a fucking foreigner coming in from somewhere way out in the woodworks, which is fine with me. But damn, we not even addressing our elderly. You know, they got so many needs out here. Medical costs is at such a high rate. You know what I'm saying? They living on fixed incomes. And then here come your motherfucking kid who only been on this earth a good 16 fucking years compared to this lady here. And he's got a right because this is today's kid. He gonna disrespect her? You think that's cool? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna clip your kid down and DDT the fuck out your kid if I catch you doing this. And then I'm gonna put you out for a week. You come back in 2 weeks, partner. I don't see you no goddamn more. Yes, I did trip you down. I admit every bit. I heard what you said, and I clipped your ass down. You gonna get your mama? Cause see, if your mama got sense, your mama got some decency to her. When you tell her, hey, she clipped me down because I told that old lady, and your mama bring her ass around this bitch talking that shit, I'm gonna knock your mom out, and I'm gonna send you and your mom away from here. Cause then I'm gonna apply all the rules that this white man and gave me for a safe haven. We gonna do it the way I'm gonna use him and let him protect the shit out of me. Then I'm gonna beat the shit out you, and I'm gonna let him protect me. That's what's gonna happen. You're not gonna do it around me. I love my grandparents. I want all my grandparents to come in, and I think that's like one of the biggest productivity things that I've done within the little community where I'm working is introduce our elderly to our young. You know what I'm saying? Have them go hand in hand with each other. Because it's only so much you're going to learn. Now, if I could take this old man standing in front of this tree with this damn beer can in his goddamn hand, and I could bring him inside, and he just as funny as all outdoors, telling him, just talking about fishing. You heard me? Now, he don't even realize he got our boys interested in fishing. Now, I got 2 little youngsters. I might go ahead on and buy them some fishing rods. You know what I'm saying? Because they're interested now. Yeah. But that's what they got from you when that was better than you standing your old ass over there underneath that tree, always drinking and beer, taking your shit out, pissing up against the side of my building right here instead of asking, can you come up in here and use the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? I don't need you pulling out and maybe one of my little girls went past here, you know, coming in here and they see you. So I'm controlling 2 factors. I got my elderly who drank pissy drunk right here, and then I got a kid who just, you know, seem to be interested in nothing, just nothing. You know, he on wild, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now look, I done brought them 2 together. Little man talking about he want to go fishing now. Oh, yeah, me spending my goddamn money. I'm trying to go see what Walmart got cheap through. Doing a damn fishing ride. Yeah. Little tackle say something for him to go out there. Get y'all little long chairs and y'all go sit y'all ass out there. What you call it? Toad, what you call it? That man is funny as hell. If he not drunk, if you're listening to him, he talk with a lot of sense. He done been into a lot of things. He's a serve, he's a musician. Man, let him talk, man. You got so much to you that you could present to our young folks. Instead of standing underneath that tree with that big can, making them feel like that's some shit that's happening. Or that's all the fuck he could end up being in, like an old man under a tree. You know what I'm saying? You know, tell him about life. Tell him what you're experiencing things. And like he was saying, he's telling that's where he go to get his mind right, a peace of mind. It sounds like you need to go fishing more. You need to go get to the store and get a pill. You got mad with me, but that's all right. I run from old people. And you know what I'm saying? If they get to the point where what you call, I'll step about their way. You know what I'm saying? I still wouldn't even much. I wouldn't dare even much reply. And I know I have a temper since way back when. Since young, but it does not go off. Seems to it kind of subsides. I kind of open up and kind of back off with our elderly. I'm not going to come down here. Something and say to my story. See, she hit me. I sort of going. I'm gonna change her life. I just say that to myself. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But for me to be the aggressor, it'll never take place. They would have to actually land that lick for me to, you know, retaliate on them or have some kind of what you call now. It's going too far when you hit me now. I can't do that. I can't do that. I got my ass whooped being a CNA. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool because I understood that this was a mental capacity that brought her to this point where she would do this. Mom won't let her be medicated. Everybody else got to get their ass whooped. We gotta respect our elders. That's our foundation. That's where we come from. That's our of old. That's where our heritage. You know what I'm saying? Family history. You know what I'm saying? Family secrets. You know what I'm saying? People don't know what old people have to hand down. You know they got a lot of old people keep money in the damn refrigerator. I'm serious. My grandma Choctaw Indian. Look, this lady tied up handkerchiefs and shit and put in the refrigerator. She tie up money and then she'll put like these big old jumbo beans in there. They call them lucky beans and shit. She tied lucky bean up in there and she'll have like maybe 6 or 7 bow dollars tied up. That's in a handkerchief in the butter dish. You go in another part of the refrigerator, she done tied up in a napkin. You know what I'm saying? She done balled money up and tied it up and put it in the refrigerator. I don't know why she do that. You gotta talk to your grandpa and your grandma. See what you call them. Them the ones they be holding down. They be the ones got the family fortune and everything. You missing out. You think this shit here out here worth something. That's why when grandma close her eyes, she don't leave your jackass nothing. She want shit. I'm serious, you want shit to begin with. And that's another thing too. See if an old person tell me they don't want to be bothered with you. See if you tell me, oh, I can't go. I know that girl. She tell me she can't go by her grandma's house. You can't go by your grandma's house.
What kind of shit is that?
All your little cousins, even my grandkids can go by her grandma's house, but she can't go by her 'cause she's so goddamn bad. The grandma don't want her ass there.
Yeah.
Not her. She sassy. She talks to her wrong and everything. Now all the kids be having all kind of stuff going on. They always coming out with candy. She gonna, if it ain't no more than some peppermints or some butterscotch, you gonna get something from over there at that lady house. She always getting something, children, not just her, yours, the neighborhood. She'll stand at that fence and she got, if it's not something she got, if she realize, hey, well this child is selling, she gonna make sure you get a little after school snack and something you're passing her. She sell frozen cups because that's y'all icebergs. I don't know what y'all call them. Some of y'all call them hucklebucks, I think. Did you call her? She the iceberg lady. You might not have you in a quarter. Grandma gonna still be the one sneaking. Yeah, I'm watching her. She get your kid anyway. Let the other kids go in on who done bought theirs. You know what I'm saying? Here, baby, here, like iceberg. This the kind of lady. You can't go at your grandma. Girl, what kind of shit you be pulling on where you can't go by your grandma? And you see if a grandma tell a child, you better watch that child. You ever had that cousin? You ever had that old ass cousin and your grandma say, I don't want that bastard, that thieving bastard at my house? Well, nobody need to let him in because if grandma said he can't come to her damn house, you know, when mama say, I'm tired of this, I'm sick of you, I don't want to be bothered with you no more, you know, you can go by your grandma, right?
Yeah.
Now, grandma say you can't come. Oh, Lord. Jesus, what kind of person is you?
That's tough. That's super tough. Yeah, if grandma ain't rocking with you, you down bad. You done really fucked up. You know, that's...
Ooh, it's 12:50. Hold on. I'm supposed to be doing something for somebody. I'm messing up my damn self. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all have a good night. I let it look. I'm serious. I like your little segment, bro. You keep this going, bro. I hope you grow and grow some more, cause, bro, y'all look setting this cool. Y'all that lay out how you do your little farms. You are open, you know. You kind of let everybody roll on their own. Shit, who can't act like that? You know what I'm saying? Free will. It's trying. You go on some of these other YouTube channels, baby. They ain't about to let you voice no opinion. No, cause I had said. Well, ain't nobody else gonna have no opinions on this one. Let me go on over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool that you leave that door open and willing to, you know, receive all mind works, you know, and all opinions and thoughts on the matter. And that calls for good. I love it. Because I love to hear everybody outlook. I love to hear different outlooks. Sometimes I be stuck in my ways and I might hear somebody say something and give me a change of mind, a different perspective on something. Give me another way of looking at things, you know, make me more acceptable to it. It's cool if it's on something of a positive nature. You know what I'm saying? So everybody could be taught something, you know what I'm saying? You're not never too old or too young to learn. So this is like a great atmosphere in my book. I really like this little atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? I told myself, you know what, I'm going to check and see if it's dinner on again. You know what I'm saying? To be on chill mode. Roll one up and I'm going to sit down and watch this. Hey, I was at work, all in the back. What you calling? I'm behind the man. I got the closet door open, but I'm standing there because I can tell it kind of cut the sound off. So I'm like behind the closet door, running in on the den. You gotta say, I can't be much talking 30 straight because I'm trying to hear to make sure his man ain't coming down this goddamn hallway. You know what I'm saying? They fucked up on this medicine. So the 3 to 11 shift ain't getting him his medicine. So that nigga walking around on me at nighttime. Oh Lord, have mercy, I ain't built for this one. He don't want to hear no noise and that shit and all that. I'm like, oh, let me get that the fuck out. Yeah, I'm gonna tell somebody else they gonna have to take this spot. I ain't gonna deal with this and shit. He get his medicine right. Then I come back to this location here. I can't even talk on the phone with the kid.
Hey, that's what I fucks with that
You
though.
starting to work on my damn nerves. I gotta get me a new patient. This kind. This part here ain't gonna work. You gotta go. Yeah, I can't even talk like I want to talk on the damn phone. You know, black people is getting his damn time. You supposed to be doing work on the damn phone or YouTube. Talking loud as shit.
Yeah, but I
You should get
appreciate
fired. Y'all have a good night.
Man, Miss Soul Better. I
Y'all
appreciate
stay
you.
blessed. All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Appreciate the call.
Thank you guys.
All right. Man, shout out to Miss Soul Better. You know, and that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. I just enjoy chopping it up. I like to listen. So some of y'all be like, oh man, you know, yada yada yo yo. You know, I like listening. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, this is Sean again. I just couldn't resist. First of all, let me just say, big up to Grandma locking that bag down with the buttered beans. That's what we
Straight
talk
up.
about. We don't need no beefers. We just need buttered beans and bags, baby. So I love that caller, and that is exactly what I was kind of trying to point to. You listen to those people. I loved her, but she was a surprise to me. I was actually calling in, and I'm going to bed, but I think her name was Yasmin. I think she was 2 callers above.
Yeah.
And here's what I wanted to kind of catapult, and I need to tell you all the story. It's a scary story. And I was catapulting on what, look, I can't even talk. My voice is getting hoarse now, but she was saying how we need to reach the topics, respect the elders, but the elders also have to listen. That was her point. And I think she was kind of talking to, okay, you go somewhere and you can be seen but not be heard. And she was kind of going on that point, and that's everything that we grew up with. But I need to really express how that is so important. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you my story. I believe I saved my daughter's life. My daughter's a teenager. I got 3 kids, but this particular one, and she had formed some sort of relationship, and I started hearing these conversations, about this guy, right? So, okay, you listen and what's going on. And what I noticed was every time I would come into her room, she would be FaceTiming this guy. Now, we talk about technology, communication, and the elders. And this is why sometimes the elders got to jump out and they still got to get to work. I noticed that she must have had some sort of infatuation with the dude, right? But every time I would come into the room, I noticed that he would cut off the FaceTime. He would cut it off. Okay, so that ended up being a red flag for me, right?
Yeah.
So then, next thing you know, there's something new, and I'm monitoring, and I'm just wondering what's going on. It wasn't nothing until she says, "Oh, well, she wants to go and meet this guy, right?" And I'm like, "Okay," and he's telling her, and through her ignorance, okay, see, I know better. I knew something was wrong. But she said, "Mommy," she said, up in New York, right? So we got to go up New York, right? So he wants her to come to New York, and it's only 2 hours away. And, of course, she shares this with me. And, I want to go up here and meet this guy. And so I'm like, well, first of all, New York is about 4 or 5 hours from where we live. So whatever this person is telling you is already a lot in my mind, right? So that's when my flag went totally up. So I connected the dots. I connected the dots with this new friend. Every time I come in her room and he sees me on FaceTime, he hangs up the FaceTime. Now all of a sudden I got this invitation, right? So this is what I had to deal with my daughter. And the reason why I'm telling this is because we do have to be mindful, because our landscape is different. Our battleground is different. We're dealing with the internet now. So I agree with what she's saying. So let me tell you how I dealt with that situation. So, these teenagers, they can get combative with you. That you all talked about, the couple callers, do you fight with your parents? I mean, they off the chain. They want to fight you. You can't fight them. They want to call CPS and all that on you. So we have to have different tools. So then this is what I said. I said, look, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to meet her. I went right on with her. I didn't go against her. I said, put his mother on the phone. Put his father on the phone. I said, we got plenty family up in New York. Where do you want to meet? Brooklyn, Bronx, Long Island, Yonkers. We everywhere. So I told her, plan a meeting, okay, and then we'll go up with because we got family there everywhere. And we'll go and we'll meet with our family, and we can stay. We don't even have to pay for a hotel. So let's spend the night. We're going to spend the night in Yonkers. That's what I told her. And let's meet him maybe in Brooklyn or in Manhattan somewhere in a public place. Let's spend some time and coordinate it. Guess what? That plan never happened. That was a wake-up call for me, because when I, as a parent, went back through this, that was a solicitation. She was being targeted from some sort of predator. Yeah. That's what I'm chalking it up to be. But if it wasn't for my persistence, but I didn't fight her, because come on now, they all in love and smelling themselves and everything. So I'm not gonna go up against no man and you smelling yourself, because I understand that power. But I went right up in between that, and I pinned him. I didn't even talk to the dude. I pinned him off the break, because every time I walk in the room, they on this FaceTime. Why are you hanging up every time I get in the room? Then next thing you know, my daughter wants to go to New York. And she doesn't even, I asked her, do you know your geography? Do you know the map? New York is not 2 hours away. Right. And the fact that he was telling her, she said, well, Mom, he says, it's only 2 hours away. That's bullshit. New York is 4 hours away from where we live. So he was lying to her. So that's how I was able to put and connect the dots to see that my daughter was potentially being targeted. And then once we did all that, I'm like, where did Trey go? Where did this man go? And then I had a secondary conversation. I think he just dropped her, like a nugget. She gone. And I had to explain to her, the reason why he was gone, because he wasn't fucking real. Yeah. Yeah. Okay? So that's what I want to put out in terms of elderly, respecting them, and understanding the fundamental communication. But if I was so, stuck in them old ways, Honcho, they probably would have took over my baby. Yeah. And that's why I say what that caller said, I think her name is Jess, is very important. We cannot be so stuck in our ways, because the times are changing. We got to stay plugged in. Like you say, plugged into the den. We got to be plugged in to our children as elders. So that is the criticism that I'm going to put out there to these elders, because I love her to death, man, and I don't want to fight with her, and I don't want to get all up into this teenage shit. But I knew what she was going through. I've been there. You all infatuated. you know, this guy is looking good and making you feel good, and you want to go there. And so I'm glad I had the small pieces of information where I could take my elderly knowledge to kind of step in and to make it her see it for herself. So I didn't say, no, you're not doing this. And I didn't go against this dude named Trey. All I knew, and it's crazy as a parent, I don't even notice. You don't even see these people face to face. These people on phones. These people on FaceTime. I got to fight with FaceTime. It's crazy. But I knew enough. And I was cautious enough because here's what I understood. I understood that whoever this person was on the other end of that phone had my daughter's ambition in her heart. Yeah. So I had to regroup as an elder. How am I going to combat this? Is this a threat or is this something positive? I didn't know which way to go, but I was willing. I said, look, okay, I'm going to support her. If you love her, you want to form a relationship, I said, look, it don't matter. We'll be on a plane. Let's just book it. I said, let me speak to the mother and the father. Me and her, I'll put her on the plane. We'll go there. We ain't got to worry about the hotel. We got family. So we'll go to New York if this is where you want to go. So I supported her in that decision, but I think she saw it for herself because that person ended up being a fake. I didn't hear anything else from that person once I started asking those secondary questions. Because guess what? I didn't talk to nobody's mama. I didn't talk to nobody's daddy. And then that's when I start to, so she can learn to formulate in her own brain. I said, well, Lena, something's wrong here. I said, well, first of all, you don't go anywhere on no invitation. First of all, he's got his whole geography fucked up. It ain't right. It's a trick. So I had to mentally take her back down. And I said, in addition to that, I don't want to go. I'm willing to support you, but I don't, who wants to go to somebody? How come we can't speak to the mother or the father? And I said, it sounds like I don't know if this guy is real. And then I started talking about sex trafficking, and I created a whole other conversation. I said, baby, that person could have been luring you to New York City. You thinking you going to New York, but you going to somewhere else, okay? And you could have been sex trafficked or anything if it wasn't for me just listening, like the caller said. And it burned me up to no end because, we pissed. I didn't get angry, but don't get angry with them because our fight is a different fight now. We don't even see our enemy eye to eye no more. Our enemy is fucking remote, okay? And it's so scary for me as a mother. But that was a very scary situation for me as a parent. But I'm so glad that I did not discount what she said, and I did not say the words, I'm so happy that I listened to her. And then I tuned in, and I hovered in like the goddamn, what are these things they flying up in the air like a motherfucking drone? That's me. That's Sean. I'm like a motherfucking drone. See, I'm learning all this shit. I'm getting right up there with you, all up in this shit. And all up in the shenanigans, right? All right. You got to get up in the shenanigans with your children. You hear me? And I got all up in it, and I believe I saved their life. So,
I would agree with you. I would definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I had to say that. And I was going to bed, but she sparked something in me when that caller was talking about, I understand elders and they want their respect, but I think she was kind of saying in the kind of way that we need our respect too, that we need to be listened to. So I wanted to reinforce that. She's absolutely right. We have to learn to communicate with one another and bridge the gap. Because had I not had the ability to bridge that gap, that dude would have had my daughter faking like I don't know if it was for real New York or fake New York, but anything, the things that he was saying wasn't making sense, wasn't connecting the dots. I knew it was a fraud instantly. But for my 17-year-old, she didn't know that difference.
Yeah.
I had to teach her that.
Yeah.
But if I didn't listen to her and didn't give her my ear, I wouldn't have been able to step in to save her from that situation. And it took some time because, he was building a relationship. I thought it was like a legitimate. But I had to connect my dots as an elder. I'm like, why does this Negro, every time I come through I come in the room, the damn FaceTime shut down. And I started talking to her about that because to me, with my kids, I want to know who your friends are. I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
So how come you don't want to talk to me? That's a red flag. And if I ask to speak to your parents, I can't speak to no parents. That's red flag number 2. Number 3, now all of a sudden you going to New York, and New York is only 2 hours away, and I know goddamn well you don't even fucking drive. New York is 4 hours away. Who the fuck is telling you New York is 2 hours away? So all of those were like 3 red flags. That's a start. Zero in and all that shit. I said, that's okay. We gonna fly. Put their parents on the phone. We'll do the plane ticket when you want to do it. We'll go and we'll stay, and we got family there. And it's only an hour away by plane. I don't do no damn drive, not like that. I'd hop my ass on a plane in a minute. I'm past that no more. I fly.
Yeah.
So anyhow, once I started putting all of those stipulations, guess what? They couldn't fucking deliver. And the fact that you couldn't deliver means that you're a fucking fraud. And that's when I said, yeah, you know why you couldn't deliver? Because it was a trick. And I told her that, and guess what? And she listened. I ain't heard nothing no more for that. She never FaceTimed this dude. This dude got blocked or whatever. But this is my internal fight. It's scary. It's scary. So let me tell you, you better listen to your children. Okay? Because they are speaking to millions of people on this internet. And that's why I had to call back in. Love you, babe.
All right, Ms. Shaw, I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Okay, bye-bye.
Right, you have a good evening. Man, I think I'm going to make that the last call, but, that's something tough, though. I mean, and I'm thinking about it. You could look at it, you could say, well, why didn't she just say no and ban her? But, these kids nowadays, they're going to find a way if they want to make a way. But my thing with that, I think that he was able to turn it into a learning experience. And then with that being said, I think it builds a level of understanding. Hey, maybe mom know a little bit more about this thing called life than I do. You feel me? So I think that's something you got to be cautious of. That's something you got to be careful with. Yeah, because I think you just oh shit. I ain't going to click that shit. I clicked the wrong damn thing. Right there. Now you know my name. I think that it's a crazy world. Sometimes you gotta do something a little bit different. Yeah, I'm probably gonna slide over the mixer here in a minute. But man, I think you definitely gotta be cautious. You gotta be careful about who you're dealing with these days. And I think that's not the fact that the man keep jumping off the FaceTime every time you come in. That's a clear cut sign. That's a big red flag. You know what I mean? Speaking of Big Red, anybody drink Big Red? I ain't had a Big Red in a long ass time. I ain't had a soda in a while, but I think last time I did have a soda was a Sprite. I don't know why I'm all random, but anyway. Man, I think tonight was a real good conversation. I think that it's important. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that because, like I say, you have so many crazy stories these days that Real culture. Because you hear about these kids, they get caught up in that shit, you know, and depending on whether the individual was old or young or whatever it may be, you know, with a little bit of game, man, these predators, they on a whole other level, you know, they on a whole other level. And trust me, you know, especially when it comes to young women, you know, they have a different set of emotions and things going on, and you know, who knows? Like, it's a tough deal. It's a dangerous world out there, you know. But that does, you know, kind of make me think about some stuff. And like I said, when I was talking about earlier about the little Roblox thing, and I was telling the little one, you know, why she don't really get to play that is because, you know, like I said, those chat rooms, and somebody mentioned about the old dudes being grown and fucking playing the little kid games, and you just gotta be cautious. Motherfuckers been acting like kids since fucking AOL days. You know what I'm talking about? And they'll act like something. They've been catfishing for a long time. I don't know what type of mentality it takes to do that. And now, like I say, with the FaceTimes and all that other shit, you know, you can try to build that rapport. I mean, you think you're fucking with somebody and you don't really know what it is. But it's a tough question, man. It's a tough situation. I think that you kind of got to handle that one with a particular set of gloves, because you get too authoritarian with it, it could go one way. You know, you have an opportunity to, you know, set an example, make it a lesson. And that's how I kind of feel, how I view what she did, was, you know, she allowed it to turn into a lesson, and it's a visual lesson, an experience. And you're gonna remember an experience more so than you're gonna just remember some words. Sometimes, you know, you feel like you missed out on something, oh, this person, you know, this, and this, and, you know, but when you turn it into an experience, you're always gonna remember that. So, I think that's tough, you know. I think it's just a questionable situation to be in, man. It can definitely be. It could definitely go one or two ways, but I think that was a very interesting way to handle it. And I think a lesson was learned from that experience. So, you know, there's that. I want to say shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to everybody. Everybody who called in, everybody who texted in, you know, just everybody who just shares their story. You know, I fucks with y'all, man. Y'all are what makes this show so great. Y'all are what, you know, makes this the best conversation on the internet. You know, again, we may not always agree on everything, but it's good to hear the stories. It's good to hear the different perspectives. You know, minimize, I won't say minimize, but again, to allow people, I guess, to see what it's like out there. Because there's sometimes there's things that are going on that we may not have personally experienced. And, you know, we have to go from there. You know, and then you have somebody that you relate to, and then you can have that conversation. Well, that's, you know, his choice. You know, again, you know, you gotta stop. Okay, I mean, this is what you gotta understand. Arguing with the mods is like arguing with the cops, man. There's always a bad consequence that can happen. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how that rolls. You know what I'm talking about? So it is what it is. You know, everybody's welcome here, but I mean, there's a certain level of conversation. There's a certain way you got to handle stuff, man. I mean, let's be realistic about it. And I'm gonna be honest, I do not look favorably upon this whole reporting snitching thing. That's like a no-go, you know. But if that's how you choose to handle things, everybody's entitled to operating in their own right. But it's not the behavior that I would use to go about stuff. There's always so many other ways to get things done, but that's not quite it. I fucks with y'all, man. I really do. And I'm just thinking about, you know, the variety of calls that we've had this evening. And we all learned something tonight. You know, some of us learned what doing booty is, so those who didn't know. But yeah, you know, it's a wild world out there, man. And you got to be on your toes, man. Sean said it right. It's a new battlefield. it's a new game, man. A lot of things that used to work way back when, you know, they're not the same now, you know. You just got to be on your toes, man. You definitely got to be on your toes. But what we what we gonna do, man? We gonna get ready to wind it down, and I fucks with y'all, and I appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna slide over to the mixer for a little bit. I'm gonna fuck off a few minutes on the mixer. Y'all are more than welcome to join. I'd like to get onto some digital shenanigans. We can, you know, chop up whatever conversation y'all want to have there. If not, if this is where you hop off the train, you know, I appreciate y'all for coming through tonight, and just each and every night, man. So I really fuck with y'all, man. I really thank y'all for making this grow into what it's becoming, and just, you know, taking this journey with me. You know, it is greatly appreciated. So just shout out to y'all, man. A lot of stuff on my mind for some of these calls tonight. You know, I look at it as how I need to, you know, handle my responsibilities moving forward and things like that. So that's what kind of what I'm thinking about. But I thank y'all, man. I really do. But let's do this properly before we slide up out of here, man. All the socials: Den Show Live, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram /DenShow Live, Den Show Live. denshowlive@gmail.com. If you want to join the Facebook group, links in the description below. It's like facebook.com/group/densshowlive. Shout out to those of you who have joined recently. We're going to get that a little bit more active. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, well, that's the wrong number. Fucking shit. I'm thinking the wrong shit. Play us fuck up, man. Like the video. If you ain't subscribed, you're just listening in, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And you can check that out. Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll put the link for the mixer in here. I think I can spell it right. And I'll be on there in about 5-10 minutes or so. You know, I'll be there. Like I said, we'll be live on that in a few minutes. I'm chopping up on there. But I thank y'all, man. Like I said, y'all some real ones, and just the fact that y'all open up and just share these things, man. And I think these are conversations that people really need to have. I think these are conversations that people tend to avoid, but these are conversations that need to be had. And this is important. This is very important. So, but with that being said, I agree. You can be old. You know, there's some old, and there's some people who are elder in age, but still foolish and young-minded. You ever seen 50, 60-year-old niggas still wearing FUBU and shit? They out there. You know, they're wearing platinum FUBU with the Fat Albert and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like I say, subscribe if you're new to it. We do this live every night, 10 p.m. Central. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, you know, consider if you want to make a one-time donation, you can go through streamlabs.com/the Den Show. We got the super chats off until we reach our goal. FUBU coming back. 335, what's the motherfucking deal, babe? And if you want to consider a monthly pledge to the channel as we continue to grow on this journey, consider going to patreon.com/the Den Show. There are some rewards for the monthly pledges, you know, some different things. Like I said, we'll start doing some more behind the scenes type stuff on the Patreon. And I have more videos coming soon. I just had to kind of switch some stuff up because, like I said, I was having trouble with the video editor, so I'm gonna kind of do some more guerrilla style type shit. But man, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be on the mixer in about what time is it right now? So about 10 minutes. So wherever you at, it'll be whatever 30. It'll be 1 my time. So it'll be about 1:30 my time, Central Time. So whatever the 30 is in your time. So, you know, it is what it is. Look, no, let me find out they some SPM fans. But with that being said, hey man, I appreciate y'all sincerely, man, for giving me the opportunity to chop it up with y'all, for giving me the opportunity to engage in these conversations nightly with y'all. I mean, it's a pleasure and a privilege on my end. You know, so I thank y'all for joining. I thank y'all for coming through. Tell a friend about the den. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Hey, Jack, y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all can catch me on the mixer. I dropped the link in the chat, so if y'all want to fuck with the mixer, you know, come fuck with your boy. But y'all got to get the hell up out of here. I'm gone. What y'all doing? I'm finna pimp somebody and I'm finna steal some shit. What y'all gonna do about it? Nothing. It's all my pistachios. I run this pistachio shit. Who getting played with their socks off too? I'm catching everybody slipping. You know. Man, that'd be very interesting. I might talk about that, Ali. That's definitely a good topic to have. All right, y'all. I'm out. Appreciate it.